Hello and welcome to the very final day of the BCL Premier Division 2025-26 season. Getting us underway this morning. We kick off with BATTS versus Brighton. Abraham Salado, the youngster, representing BATTS. He will face David Anderson. And I'm glad to be joined by Director of Table Tennis England, Richie Venner. Richie, heard it was your birthday yesterday. What a way to celebrate your birthday than being here at the British Clubs League's Premier Division. And what a way to end the weekend with two huge matches upcoming.
Yeah, thank you, Connor. I had a really enjoyable day watching table tennis yesterday. I wasn't the only person in the hall with a birthday. Ben Piggott of Ormsby's, it was also his birthday yesterday. So there was two of us here celebrating. And we're just about to start the first match with David Anderson of Brighton to serve. And David Anderson opens up there with two service winners. Abraham, 16-year-old from Bradford, failed to get them back, but it's his turn to serve.
First time Abraham's played in the Premier Division this season. He actually played in the one-day event in Fusion earlier this season, beating Rikuto Murata from Fusion, losing out juice in the fifth to Shaquille Webb-Dixon. But now he's on the board. As a young player at an event like this, Richie, where you may not be familiar, to playing at the Premier Division, although Abraham does have a wealth of experience at international level, youth international level, and senior international level now. How does he feel his way into the game here against somebody so experienced like David?
Yeah, I mean, it could very easily be overawed. I mean, obviously, David Anderson, really good player from Sweden, got to the last 32 of the Swedish national championships. And if you know the standard in Sweden, that's very impressive. So for Abraham to come up against somebody of that standard, I think it's great for his development. And I think if he takes it in the right spirit and just gives it everything, it's all helping his learning progress in the sport.
I mentioned there about some of Abraham's accolades. He's a former European Youth Series champion for England last season, towards the end of last season, and for consecutive seasons he's represented England at the European Youth Championships, and actually in October last year ended up getting a call up to playing at the WTT Star Contender in London, where he held his own against a Malaysian opponent in the very first round of qualifying. He's done really well to bring this game back from 5-2 down back to 5-4. Something we don't see too often, Richie, at this level anymore is the backhand serve, but David elects to use it quite often, doesn't he?
Yeah, it seems that like Ovtcharov on the world stage is a well-known backhand server, and it just seems since then there's a lot of people using the backhand serves. I know a lot of the Africans, the Nigerians, like to use the backhand serve very effectively.
Not really too many rallies. Nice flick out there from David Anderson coming around the side of the ball. Not many rallies in this opening end. Both players probably feeling their way into the match. Commentators curse. That's probably the rally of the match so far.
That's certainly been the best rally we've seen so far. David Anderson takes that. Be nice to see a few more. I think they're the players, as Connor said, are just warming up, and I think as the match goes on, that we get better rallies coming up.
An early 8-5 lead from Anderson in this opening end. As we just try and take a closer look at this backhand serve, you see how he comes around the side of the ball so well, getting a lot of side spin.
Yeah, good rally there. Unfortunately, Abraham mistimes the forehand on the last shot there. But as you say, it was a good backhand serve, sort of side spin, top spin. And 10-5 to Anderson now. Got 5 game points to take the first leg.
Oh, that's very nice from David Anderson. Spun up to the crossover, but just unable to really play with any venom there, and he's able to step round and make the counter topspin. If we look at David Anderson a little bit closer detail, his England rating currently 23, but obviously doesn't play in this country that much. An impressive 8 out of 12 wins. Last season he was actually top of the averages in the Premier Division. And really interesting, he's a 2-time junior doubles champion with Truls Morgard, the one and only. Top 5 in the world, Swedish star. We'll see him in England very soon, won't we, Richie?
Yeah, we certainly will. Looking forward to seeing Truls at the World Championships that are coming up in a few weeks' time in London. Looking at David Anderson playing there in the first game, his England rating of 23 seems a little bit low to me. I think he's certainly quite a bit higher than that, looking at his standard.
The rating list is so difficult compared to the ranking list, as obviously it includes any players with affiliation to Table Tennis England and competes in this country from all over the world, including Pargarel, who's here this weekend, Jiaji Wu, who represents Archway Peterborough, former top 100 in the world, alongside many English stars, including Paul Drinkall, who's been competing over the weekend. Rejoin the action now, and Abraham is first to get on the board. David Anderson just making a mistake on the flick receive.
That's 2 very tight chop serves from Abraham there, of which Anderson misses both. So it's a good start from Abraham there. See if he can get himself back into this match.
He's very controlled, very consistent, David Anderson. You know, he doesn't mind digging out sometimes and then being ready with the punch or the block or the counter topspin. Whereas Abraham likes to get in and be on the front foot, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to David Anderson's teammate Felix a little while ago, and I said to him, "What can you tell me about David Anderson?" And his first comment was, "He's a very good blocker," which I thought was a little bit. That's not what normally you say about somebody.
You can see he's got great control of the ball. He has that little bit more of a grip like Truls Morgard, kind of, with the thumb really high up the bat on the blade, almost. But he's only just getting on the board against young Abraham Salado. Abraham, the former England cadet national champion, taking on former Swedish cadet national champion David Anderson, although it's a little bit of a David versus Goliath battle on court 1 right now.
Yeah, just watching the 2 players, obviously the difference in height is massive. Even though there's been a long since conversation of, being tall, does that actually help you as a table tennis player?
What's your thoughts on that, Richie? I always think it's easier for the taller players to have the wingspan and cover the table sideways a lot more and in and out movement. But being low to the table, if you're smaller, means you're almost down and in position at all times.
Yeah, it's one of the things that my dad used to be my coach years ago, and he always said to me, if you ever play a really tall player, you play into their body, and if you play a very short player, you play them wide. So that's kind of, those tactics have always stayed with me. So I never really know what to do when I play somebody who's a medium height.
Brighton currently sits second place in the league standings, just ahead of BATTS, who are in third, despite a shock loss to bottom of the table EBAT yesterday. Really impressive from the EBAT team to overcome BATTS, a match which Abraham didn't feature in. BATTS come with 4 players and change throughout the weekend, whereas Brighton keep the same 3 players throughout, which are David Anderson, the number 1, Callum Evans, the number 2, and Felix Thomas, the number 3.
Yeah, I think it can be risky if you only turn up with 3 and you've got 4 matches to play. Someone gets injured in your first game, then you're in a bit of trouble. I know when I was talking to the BATTS Supremo Cliff Carter, he said that if they turn up for a weekend, they'll always have 4 players in case of injury. I know one of their players, Isaac Kingham, who's not featuring in the singles in this match, is suffering slightly from a wrist injury at the moment.
Yeah, Isaac mentioned a slight hand injury yesterday, despite overcoming the England number 5, David Macbeth, for the first time. Really good victory for Isaac.
That's a really impressive victory for Isaac. You know, nursing an injury and still beating somebody who's as good as David Macbeth is a fantastic result.
Just talking a little bit more about Abraham Salado. Currently number 6 in the team. That just shows the strength in depth the BATTS team have. This season so far, only 2 out of 6 victories. But I think at such a young age, he's had such good experience on the international stage, competing at WTT senior, feeder and star contender events, as well as a whole host of WTT events around Europe and the world.
Yeah, Abraham is well travelled, so even for a 16-year-old, he's very experienced with the amount of international play that he's had. And I know that Table Tennis England coaches think very, very highly of him, and I think he is one for the future and somebody to look out for a future England senior team.
Really impressive game. Opening match. Couldn't ask for much better at the moment. The game locked up at 1-1. Let's take a look at one of the best points so far. He's almost jumping around Abraham all the time. Got great control and feel. Very attacking. Always wants to be on the front foot.
Which is shaping up to be a really good match there. I think when Anderson took the first game comfortably, I was a bit worried for Abraham, but Abraham bounced back brilliantly to take the second, and now it's kind of 50-50. Difficult to predict who's going to win.
Some really nice forehand relit from Abraham Salado. This angle captures just how good and fast that ball was down the line. Takes that ball really early off the bounce. Just opens up the wrist at the last moment going down the line. Anderson's waiting across court. Having real success on that backhand flick from the receiver serve.
Right, here we go. 1-3, Anderson serving. Oh, he really ripped into that with some chop. Abraham's buried that in the bottom of the net. There was a lot of backspin on that serve.
Well, that's nice from David Anderson. Just going a little bit harder than he has done so far on the backhand. I think it's really easy for somebody with such good control like that to slip into a bit more of a passive game, but when the ball's there, really took that one on into the crossover of Abraham Salado, and he wasn't able to make that ball on the table. Players towel down for the first time in this third end. Are you a fan of this backhand banana flip, Richie? Obviously Anderson just made a mistake there, but could be due to the quality or the length of Abraham Salado's serve.
Yeah, I think it's a really good initiative into table tennis. I actually think as a player, if I've given someone a backspin serve and they give me a banana flick, I find it difficult to punch that ball because of the backspin on it. So I find I need to actually take a step back and topspin it, which is a much harder technique for me. So I wish people wouldn't do it, but that's exactly why they should be doing it.
I'll keep that in mind for our next battle, Richie.
Yeah, sometimes you need to keep things to yourself.
That's a great backhand down the line from Salado. He's caught Anderson out wide on the forehand a couple of times now, whether that's been a block or a topspin. Anderson doesn't seem to be covering that wide forehand as well as what he does the middle forehand.
He's got a very impressive array of serves, Anderson. He just did a short backhand chop one. He also gets a lot of topspin on a variation on that same serve. He's just gone back to that after doing an amount of forehand serves recently.
Really impressive that Abraham Salado's been able to turn this one around. Obviously, you mentioned losing the first game quite easily, not really getting many balls on the table, but it just shows how players need to feel their way into the matches, doesn't it? As now he leads 8-3 in this third end. Really stamping his foot down. Really coming after the Brighton number 1 in this match.
Yeah, I think Abraham's got a really good temperament. He lost the first comfortably, but he didn't seem to panic. He didn't seem to get too worried about it. He went back to the table, kept his composure, and he's now clearly on top, having won 11-6 and now 9-3 up.
I know that was a bit of a fluff receive from Salado, but still into the wide forehand and forces Anderson to make a mistake. He really is having some success there. Just got to get over the line now. Something I try and remember in my head all the time is just get over that line. I find it really hard when I'm in a winning position just to get over that line against somebody that is probably better than me on paper, a little bit more experienced. Really easy to just slip back into going for the big shots, trying to look good or thinking you've already won.
Yeah, if you relax, then that could be fatal. And there he goes. He takes it 11-5. So we've had 3 games that have all been comfortable for whoever's won them. We've not had a close game yet.
Some huge fixtures going on elsewhere around the hall. Really, really big matchup going on between Ormau and North Ayrshire. Ormau led by Pargarel. Parr currently helping the team try to stay up. They did that by beating Drumchapel Glasgow yesterday when Pargarel defeated Paul Drinkall. A clash between 2 table tennis legends over the years. The last time those 2 met was in the Olympic qualification final in 2016, where Garel also came out on top. Fusion taking on Drumchapel Glasgow down the end of the hall. Fusion actually defeated Brighton yesterday, which actually gave Ormsby a mathematical victory of the division. They can't be caught and they will be crowned champions after the last round. Even more special for the Ormsby side. You can see there their logo pictured on the wall as we are here at Ormsby Table Tennis Club this weekend.
Also, see on table 2, Ben Piggott taking the first 2 games against Nahom Ashkabom in the Ormsby EBAT match.
Really difficult one for EBAT yesterday against Drumchapel, losing 3 of their matches in the 5th set. And I think that all but secured their fate of being relegated to the Championship division for next season. Doesn't get much easier when you're taking on top of the table first game Sunday morning, does it?
Yeah, as I said yesterday, it just shows how strong the Premier Division is of the Senior British Clubs League when a team with such great players as EBATS are currently bottom of the table. So here we are, back on the show call. Game 4, close start, 2-all, Abraham to serve.
Second place against third place between BATTS and Brighton, both battling out for that silver medal for this season. As we know, Ormsby will be crowned champions. I think one thing for young players watching at home or players looking to learn is just how strong David Anderson's short game is around the net. He's really good, really light touch around the net, really getting that feel of the ball, coming round the side of the ball, keeping that ball short over the net all the time, and never really looks flustered if the other player decides to go long or drops it short once again.
Yeah, I love seeing him do backhand serves. It's so unusual to see someone do backhand serves, and I love to see it. And you can get an incredible amount of spin with a backhand serve, as he just did, and forcing the mistake from Abraham there.
Fast start from Salado. He's lightning across the ground, and he's leading 2-1 against a more experienced Swedish star. David Anderson looking to take this game to the 5th set as he leads 6-3 in his 4th end.
Yeah, Abraham trying to battle back now. He's got back to 4-6 from 6-2 down. Obviously, he'd love to win this 3-1 if he can get back into this.
Clawing his way back into this game is the youngster.
Yeah, timeout called from David Anderson. Obviously, he's a bit worried. Abraham's won 3 points on the trot. Obviously, he can't afford to drop this game from 2-1 down.
think Brighton might be slightly disappointed, obviously, to be sat in second place. You know, current two-time reigning champions would have been going for a historic three-peat. But I think it is still important to the team to secure second place, which could be in danger if they do succumb to a defeat to BATTS here, with Ormsby left to play this afternoon, which also will be showcased live on Table 1, live stream this afternoon for you to watch at home if you're unable to join us here at the historic Ormsby Table Tennis Club, the only English club to be crowned European Club Champions. Fantastic record and accolade to hold, especially considering the club did it with all homegrown players, including their now club coach, Dennis Neal, somebody you probably know really well, Richie.
Yeah, I've known Dennis for many years. I've known Dennis since I was a child. He's always been a fixture around table tennis England events and tournaments, and it's good to see him still being involved in table tennis.
Anderson just keeps his nose in front. So a little error on the receiver serve on that forehand flick. I think he's just a little bit late on that forehand flick. Sometimes he's kind of jumping in as he's hitting the ball, making contact. Really important to plant the foot and then make the flick.
Yeah, seeing quite a few errors on return of serves from both players at the moment. The rallies are very short. Oh, very good rally there. Yeah, certainly worth seeing that one again at the end of the game. We'll have a look at that again later. So, Abraham serving. Anderson edges ahead again at 9-8, hoping to take this to the fifth end.
Didn't quite get that depth on the spin up. Anderson looks at the table in dismay, but actually his backhand opened up. He was leaning back there. Really good push from Abraham, actually. The ball bounced mid-table and he was able to reloop that ball effectively.
Yes, see Abraham, he's just serving just tight chop all the time to try to keep Anderson out. He's kind of doing it every serve at the moment. Right, good return from Abraham. That brings up his first match point. Hopefully, from his point of view, his only match point.
Could be a fantastic victory for the youngster of a really experienced player. Loose receive. Bit of change in the spin there. Obviously, you mentioned earlier, Richie, how much backspin Anderson gets on that serve. This time, a float serve. The ball popped up. Abraham didn't look to be positive and actually pushed that ball really high.
It's interesting from Abraham. I just felt he was doing a lot of tight serves. He threw that one deeper, and I think he caught Anderson out a little bit and got a weaker return, and ended up winning the point from it. So, match point number 2 for Abraham. And again saved by Anderson. 11 all. Right, what will Abraham do here? Will he keep it tight again? I suspect he'll go back to a tight chop serve just over the net. Well played, Abraham.
Again, went into that forehand, that middle of David Anderson's and tried to make him come for that forehand flick. I think that's because he's had so much success there. Anderson's really weak on that forehand flick this morning. I think he's not really settled all weekend, actually losing out to Colin Dalgleish of North Ayrshire yesterday. It's not the David Anderson we've seen in past weekends where he's really dominated other players. I was speaking to Larry Trumpauskas yesterday, and he beat David Anderson in the fourth yesterday. And he mentioned the first time they met in North Ayrshire on weekend one, he had absolutely no chance. He was just blown away by the Swede.
That's interesting. He looks a very good player to me. It's interesting. We've played 5 games at Juice here, and every point has gone with the server. So this is now, I think this is Abraham's 4th match point, but can he win it on the serve of David Anderson?
I'm always sceptical at this point in the match because if it's myself playing and I've held every match point or every game point, I think the second that my opposition holds one, I'm probably going to lose just because of the law of averages. I've not took my chances, and I think that's why Abraham's took his time out now. Take his time, refocus, maybe speak to the bench, try and get some ideas on predictions on what the serve might be or how to receive it when he's making that mistake. Sometimes just a little bit of a confidence boost, isn't it? You know, your team telling you, well, you can do this, stay positive, look to flick if you can, pick up the half long, as opposed to just push it out and trying to go for what seems to be the safe option sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a few match points, but they've all been on the Anderson serve, and Anderson's a very good server. So I think it was actually a good timeout. I think he needs to reassess, maybe even break the pattern up of
do something different.
Break the pattern up of trying to win a point on Anderson's serve.
Oh, that's nice from Anderson.
Yeah.
What a way to save a match point. Really controlled, didn't go too big. Just relooped that ball, guided it into the open, wide forehand. It's actually a good pick-up on the half long by Anderson, but Abraham stayed strong, stayed aggressive. And I think that's what he has to do here on this receive if he is to be successful and claim this victory. Do something different. Can he look to flick, pick up this half long? Chances.
Yeah. It's funny how service is dominating. I mentioned earlier in the game that there was a lot of service errors getting towards Juice, and that's 8 points at Juice, all gone with the serve. That's not what you need. You don't need to serve off when the server is winning every point.
And David Anderson's first game point at 15-14. Can he claim this game with his own serve in hand? A mistake of his own. Don't think he'll be impressed with that one.
No, it was a good serve, and he set himself up and then missed the forehand.
Really strong from Abraham Salado.
Yeah, I kind of like the way that Abraham plays a spinny backhand early in the rally and then looks to run round and get a strong forehand in. He's done that a few times quite effectively.
I think a lot of young players, Richie, that we see on the circuit, try to go faster, faster, faster in the rally. Abraham really tries to build that point sometimes with a slower spin or the flick out, and that was really positive, wasn't it, at match point? We said he needs to do something different, stay on the attack, and he flicked out and got his success, reaped the rewards.
Yeah, he got it very deep. It landed right near the white line, made it very difficult for Anderson, and actually got the error from Anderson and won the match. So a really impressive performance from Abraham. I think that's his first win of the weekend. Only played one match yesterday, but I know he was wanting desperately to win a match this weekend.
And a very difficult match it was against Almsby, the league leaders.
Yeah.
Morning, guys, from me, Steve Bailey, back in the commentary box, joined by Richie Venner, the Professor, celebrating his birthday yesterday, evergreen and ever young. So we're going to be providing a little bit of insight into the matches over this weekend and giving you our thoughts. So welcome, Richie, and we've got another exciting encounter now. And we're certainly looking forward to seeing how this one pans out.
So we've got Felix Thomas playing here. Originally from, I think, just trying to think where he's from, is it? Left-handed player, really good.
Yeah, young player, looks to spin from both wings. One of the crop of youngsters that we have in English table tennis that are making their way up the senior rankings, and great for them to be competing on this stage.
Yeah, I think he's recently moved to Sheffield to study, so he can be close to the England Training Centre in Sheffield.
Yeah, it's great to see. Brilliant commitment to the sport. Love all. And just going away with that one. This is the first match of the morning for Chen. And I'm sure, as we saw yesterday in some of the matches, he'll just take a little bit of time to feel his way into the match and use that experience and that international pedigree to really just work his way in and get the bounce of the ball, feel the conditions, and then start to build his game into the match. So that call there. All to play for at this stage. Early doors, just one match down in this fixture. And that's something we see more and more, Richie, in the modern game, this backhand banana flick. I said yesterday it wasn't invented when we played years ago at our peak, but these days it seems to be the favoured return for most of the world's elite if they look to flick early and flick sometimes with topspin and sidespin, sometimes with backspin and sidespin.
Yeah, it's definitely coming into the modern game. Yeah, I was in a training session last week and the coach was getting all the juniors in our club to practice their banana flick.
Yeah, that's it. Opens the rally up early and puts pressure on the server. It's a very positive receiver, far from passive. Obviously, players now even stepping over to the middle forehand to play that shot when years ago your coach would have had some choice words to say if you were to step over and play backhand from that point. But definitely a fixture of the modern game, and we've seen it employed by both of these players early in this match.
Interesting to see a match between two left-handers. I know whenever I've spoken to left-handers, they hate playing each other. They'd always prefer to play a right-hander for some reason.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I know how they feel. But lefties say, "Well, we never play against lefties." Nice hook serve there from Felix Thomas, another real fixture of the modern game, but no match for Chen on that occasion. He read the spin, flicked out again. Really positive receiver serve. We're seeing that again a lot more in the game these days. Players really being proactive on the receiver, looking to win the point outright. And Felix just misreading that one again, going for the banana flip. Yeah, it's a great reel loop, and Chen looks to have a really nice service action. Those serves look pretty heavy to me, Richie. Obviously, it's difficult to tell sometimes from the commentary box, but they certainly look like there's a little bit of jazz on those ones, Rich.
Yeah, he certainly rips into the ball with spin. Just my first view of seeing the two players, they look very even standard, very difficult to actually even guess who's going to win at this stage.
Yeah, difficult to call at this stage. Obviously, as we say, Chen just feeling his way in, so we'll see how he progresses. He looks to have some quality, and Felix somehow managed to claw that one back.
Yeah, Chen, 23-year-old from China, from Shenzhen, which he tells me is fairly close to Beijing. Played a lot in Beijing as a junior. I think it was a top 10 in China in the juniors throughout his early years.
Yeah, that generally means he's not a bad player, Rich.
Yeah, if you're top 10 in China at table tennis,
you're doing okay.
think he mainly concentrates on coaching these days, but it's still a very, very good player. As I say, he miss times one and loses a point.
So interesting. We saw the same yesterday, Richie. Just the first game, sometimes it takes these elite players, they're only human like the rest of us, it takes them a little bit of time just to find the timing point to get going a little bit. And a little bit of spin on that one. Felix just blocking off the end, and he's disappointed with himself. He was in the right place. Maybe he could have done better.
And Chen gets it back to 8-all.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Richie, it looks pretty even Steven so far with these two. No one really establishing too much of a big lead just yet. No one really taking the match by the scruff of the neck. Yeah, he made the mistake there. Richie was round. He played it straight to Felix's bat. He was round playing that foreign topspin, and
yeah,
that was like a magnet.
He didn't really hit the target area, did he? He went straight into Felix's comfort zone there.
Yeah, that's it.
The line.
That's more like it. Look at that, right for the elbow. I think he must have heard us, Rich. Spin there to the crossover point. If you're going to go somewhere, you don't want to be going fast to the player's bat. There's a little bit slower, a little bit more spin, and just a bit more precise on that placement. Comes good, 9-all. Felix obviously with the advantage of serve. I think we may see the hook serve again. He looks to be, well, maybe not. He's preparing differently. Pendulum service, short topspin. Oh, it drifted long. It drifted long, and you do not want to be serving long topspin or half long topspin at that stage of the match. And unfortunately for him, got its just desserts. Looking to save game point now. Back to the hook serve, short this time. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Short serve, took the initiative very quickly round. Rocket forehand topspin into the Chen forehand to save game point. 10-all now. Chen with the advantage of serve. I wonder if we'll see a short float. Long fast serve, round quickly. And just similar to the last point, he looked for his strong forehand from round there and rocket topspin down the forehand side.
Yeah, it's very impressive from Chen. That was he kind of sort of had his third ball plan, I think, ready before he'd served. Then he knew the serve he was going to do, and then he was going to go for a big forehand.
Absolutely, Richie, round like lightning. Felix worth it. Oh, I don't know if that was an edge or a lucky bounce, and that brings up the game. Not entirely sure. It didn't look entirely clean. Shake of the head there from Felix, and first look to Chen. But like you said early doors, Richie, it looks to be a very evenly matched contest so far. Chen, I think, certainly looking for that traditional short serve and forehand combination wherever he can.
Yeah, I think there's a lot in there for Felix to feel good about. So I don't think he's certainly not out of this by any means.
No, right, absolutely not.
I'm going to make a wild prediction here, Steve. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that this game is going to 5.
Okay, Richie, well, they call him the professor. We'll see how right he is. I think it's so far based on that first end, 3-all, 5-all, 6-all, and then obviously deuce. It certainly looks to be very close so far. I think tactically we may see the players start their serve a little bit shorter and look to get in with those attacking shots early doors. There was a little bit of drifting half-long serves there that at this level usually gets punished. With a surprise long fast serve now and then just to keep the opponent guessing. Yeah, and there we see it.
Actually, Felix every now and again has this sort of little wind-up before he serves, very reminiscent of Tom Jarvis's famous serve. Just gives it a little wind-up before he hits it. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really brings no advantage. I think it's just part of the action, to be honest. I mean, there's no physical advantage for that. But if that's what makes him feel comfortable and that works for him, what do I know?
Yeah, I think it's certainly someone like Tom Jarvis. I always think it's part of getting into his rhythm of his serve.
Yeah, I think it's more that than anything technical. Tom, very, very fine server, particularly that short hook serve, short forehand, a massive part of his game. Yeah, and there we see the short serve, a little bit touch play around the net. Great hands there from Chen, actually, just feeling that one long, just slightly to the crossover point. Soft hands around the net. Certainly not my fault there. I wish I could do that. Long serve there, the hook serve. Yeah, and Chen will be disappointed with that. That serve drifted long, and it goes unpunished. That was an opportunity for Chen there. Missed chance.
Yeah, it's interesting. Reminds me a little bit of the last match that serve is dominating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the first point that goes against serve in this game.
Better there from Chen. The touch from Felix just drifted along. Second bounce over the white line. Chen rolling the wrist up the back of the ball, generating the topspin shot. Felix misreading the spin, blocking into the net. And that backspin serve, stepping over from the middle line of that one, Chen. I wonder if that's a tactic. You would usually expect him as a strong foreign player to serve wider.
But Chen did really well to get to that wide forehand with a great shot. Didn't end up winning the point, but I thought it was a superb shot in there from Chen.
Yeah, he's not shot to speed on his feet. I have a great, from the commentary box, a great angle, and his footwork certainly looks very proficient to me. Yeah, that's good table tennis. See there, just the way that Chen recovered in between shots, just to watch between the foreign tops and the backhand exchange. Kept his bat high, didn't drop his bat. Again, another change to the modern technique. Players keeping the bat higher. Yeah, and that's better from Felix. Again, we see it, and I think he needs to employ that tactic more, Richie. He's serving tight and then getting that forehand in early doors. He's not leaving it drop. He's taking it early, putting pressure on Chen. He's had some success with that in the first game and now in the second end as well.
Yeah, he's got a very good third ball attack here, Felix. He got in really well with that one.
And I think the professor's prediction could be right here. We're 5-6. It's looking very tight all the way.
But then you kind of get games that one player wins 3-0, juice and juice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had a couple of those yesterday where really the scoreline didn't do the match justice. There's that short serve, quickly round, a little bit more spin this time. Oh, it's a bad miss and he knows it. Did everything right there except the killer blow. The first heavier spin to set up the strong fifth ball attack. Put his feet in the right place and then top edged it. I don't think he'll miss too many of those. Yeah, a rueful nod there from Felix. He's not too happy missing that, but Chen did seem to find that body rather than straight to the backhand bat. So easy to make a mistake from there if you mistime it.
Yeah, really good return, I thought, from Chen on that point.
Hook serve again, I think. That service. Ball just drifting into the court, resets. Yeah, it's actually a poor serve from Felix, and I think he does well to win that point. That drifted along, and Chen will be disappointed.
Yeah, Chen going really well with the forehand, and it was actually a tremendous third ball slightly in desperation from Felix.
Kind of emergency forehand reloop block.
Yeah.
If it works, do it. Yeah, that's good from Chen. We've seen this a few times now. He's actually spinning that backhand slower and heavier. He could have ripped that. He was in the right place. He's done that a couple of times now in this end. I wonder if it's a tactic to go slow and heavy just to break up the rhythm of the youngster. Make the reloop more difficult. Yeah, there's that backhand flick again. Great rally away from the table. And Felix in, he's in control. Lets him back in. Rally the match so far. Oh.
Great rally.
There's some fantastic table tennis there between the guys. Textbooks, everything right. We saw a great positive receiver serve from Felix. A strong third ball from Chen. And then a great foreign topspin exchange.
I feel the game is just warming up now. I think with a lot of these games we've seen, first games in the morning.
Feeling each other out, Richie. And I think, as you say, they're really starting to find the flow now. Open the shoulders and swing from the heels. And the hook serve again. He's serving long to that crossover point. I'm not sure if I'm his coach. I'm too pleased with that, Richie.
Let's see what he does this time.
Yeah, shots out the start, that's better. And then in with the topspin, away from it, yeah, and that's a really good table tennis from Felix. Kept that one short. Chen's return drifted along, he was in quickly, and then was looking to turn for that fifth ball. Enough topspin on the third ball to force the error from Chen.
Okay, 9-all. Chen to serve with the advantage of the serve. Can he finish off here with on his serve?
And it couldn't be tighter, the advantage with Chen with the service. Short serve, there's the favoured foreign topspin. Yeah, it's textbook. Short serve, Felix not able to keep it short or long and aggressive. Chen in quickly, heavy topspin third ball, forces the error. Game point. Looks to be a hook serve coming up. Yeah, and that's unlucky from Felix there. If I'm his coach, I'm still applauding that there receive. I think the flick was the right thing to do. That's what's got him there. He made the mistake this time, but you certainly couldn't push that serve. It was a topspin serve, it was a float serve. I think he looked to do the right thing there, Richie.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go down the line and it didn't miss by very much.
No.
Two very, very tight serves, but both gone the way of the BATTS player, Chen. He's now 2-0 up.
Yeah, absolutely, that's it. And Mystic Venner could have called this one wrong.
Well,
he was predicting a 5-setter, but so far...
You never know.
You just never know. It's not over till it's over.
It's a tight game. Felix is a very, very impressive young man.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
He's a clever guy. He's studying business management in Sheffield. Now, can he manage this game and get back to 5?
Absolutely. And like we said, Richie, even if it doesn't go to 5, the ends are incredibly tight. I mean, 12-10, 11-9. It's been very, very close, almost blow for blow so far.
I mean, there is this theory that Chinese players are very, very good when it's close. They've got that mentality of getting over the line in close matches.
Yeah, obviously, if you look at what they have to do, Rich, even to come through in China, the competition's so fierce and so intense, it's almost survival of the fittest. And only the very best, mentally, physically, will come through. Over 300 million registered players in the country, which is probably about 6 times our population.
Obviously, that's more than the membership of Ormsby, isn't it?
Nearly. It's touch and go. And so to get through that system and to become a top 10 junior in China, you would have to be pretty tough mentally just to survive that. Away from the dead net, and Felix will take it at this point, being 2 games down. You don't complain about those ones, Richie. You apologise, but you're never too disappointed to see them go your way.
No. This series, is it an apology or is it just a acknowledgement that you've had some luck?
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. And particularly juice in the 5th, when you get one, you raise your hand in apology, and inside you certainly celebrated. If we're really honest. 3-2 now with Chen serving. Good tight serve. Looked for that slow, heavy topspin ball again. Miscued it on this occasion, but I think that's a tactic he's looking to employ once every couple of serves there. He just keeps it tight, straight backspin, no side spin on it. Makes it more difficult for the opponent to do the banana flick. Yeah, it's good table tennis. Away from the table. Oh, just goes long with that. And Felix is not pleased with himself, and you can see why, Richie.
Yeah, I thought the opportunity was there for Felix to get that 4 in. I think he would be very disappointed that he's missed that one.
Absolutely.
And again,
off balance. I don't think he was expecting that wide forehand. Caught him by surprise. He came up on that movement, which is usually a sign that he was not expecting it, didn't anticipate it well enough. And Chen now 5-3 and 7. Great hands there from Chen. Fantastic hands. Yeah, really, really classy, and just you see the first touch around the net. Just put a little bit of side spin on the long push and got the weaker ball.
I think Chen's stepped up his standard here. He's just that last rally was hugely impressive. It looked like his confidence is growing as the match is growing.
Yeah, I agree, Richie. He just seems to be really finding his flow. Short reverse serve there, very Chinese style, reminiscent of Zhang Jike. Yeah, and he's ruined himself, and rightfully so. if he went 7-3 there, that run of points, he's looking in a strong position. But Felix hanging on in there. He's got something to say in this match yet. A little unorthodox chop block there to win the point, and Chen looked confused at himself. I don't think he knows what happened there. I don't think we see that taught in the Chinese school of table tennis very often. If it works, do it. Yeah, really good table tennis there. And actually, Felix doing well to stay in the point, away from the table, and playing a little bit more topspin. Gives himself a little bit more time to either get back to the table. In this case, Chen misreading it, blocking long.
Yeah, I think Felix got a lot of topspin on that away from the table.
Yeah, looks heavy.
He's a tall lad with big shots. Get the timing point right in the topspin, you're going to generate a lot of topspin.
Absolutely. And back to 6-all. Short backspin serve. Oh, and Felix again, he hangs his head in disappointment. He knows that he opened up strong, probably got the ball back he wanted, missed the follow-up. Chen now 7-6, and like you've identified earlier, Richie, a lot of this game has went with serve. Short hook serve and misses the forehand. Been a few third ball errors just creeping in from both players on this match, where they've actually got the receive they wanted. Probably should have capitalised and done better.
Yeah, I was surprised Chen missed that. He's hit a few winners on the very similar shots already in this game.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just 8-7. He pinches this, and at the end of the last game, he took 2 points against serve. If he can win this point, Chen is 2 points to the good and serving. 2 serves to come. He's looking in a strong position, but Felix will try to restore parity. Oh, and again, there's that third ball error, Richie, and at this stage of the match, he will be kicking himself. Short serve, moved around quickly, but missed the third ball. Chen now 2 serves to come. Yeah, emergency topspin from the heels. It wasn't orthodox, but it worked. Can't always be in the right place in table tennis, and the serve now brings up 3 game points. I wonder if he will take this first chance, or will Felix look to win this point and follow up with 2 strong serves of his own? Yeah, good positive receive there from Felix. Impressed with that. He's 10-7 down. He's facing the match, but he sees the service float, plays that backhand strong topspin short receive flick. All credit to Felix for that positive receive there. And now 2 serves to save this match. Let being called. And there's a short hook serve. In with the flick. He's away from the table. Fantastic rally. Top. Oh.
Well played, Felix.
Well played, Felix. And Chen missed that forehand. He was in the right place, Richie. I would have backed him to make that shot.
Yeah, he's had 2 match points. Can he take it on the third one?
Felix with the advantage of serve and with the momentum. Will we see the hook serve again? I think so. He needs to keep it short. Yeah. Great backhand banana receive, backhand exchange. Well done, Felix Thomas. Chen with a good positive receive there. He could have went to the body. Didn't manage to find it, and Felix in with the backhand. All credit to Felix Thomas there. That's 3 match points saved.
Yeah, he's done really well to get back to juice here.
Absolutely.
But he's lost 2 tight games. That must be playing on his mind that he's lost 12-10, 11-9. You know, he doesn't want to lose a third close one.
Yeah, absolutely, Richie. I agree fully. Oh, wow. And that's very, very impressive indeed. He actually gave Felix the long push ball. Felix opened up, but round with a strong reloop. He telegraphed that one, I think, Richie.
Yeah, that was just a really, really impressive forehand from Chen there to take. I don't think Felix, in my opinion, didn't seem to do a lot wrong there.
No.
Just it was a fantastic shot from Chen to win it.
Saving match point again with a hook serve. Great foot. And again there, Richie. Chen didn't do anything wrong. He strong forehand flick. High level of table tennis now from these 2 gents at juice in the third.
It's good when you get a good raise at juice.
Absolutely.
Just shows the strong mentality of both players.
Short serve there. Oh, short backspin serve. Felix touches in the net. A bit disappointed with that. His receiver's been so strong this game so far, and just that the critical error lets him down ever so slightly. Hook serve again, I think. Needs to be short. Yeah, really good. Really good play from both players, actually. And again, you saw that receive from Chen, just little slight fade use of the hand. Not just straight backspin, but his push receive was a little bit of side spin as well. Just trying to throw Felix's timing off, but Felix equal to the challenge. Topspin. Oh, Felix, he's, flailing his arms in disappointment, and his backhand has been strong through the match from that point and just got away with that one. Chen did change the pace slightly. I'm wondering if there was a slight miss in there, Richie.
Yeah, it could have been actually. Felix, I think, had been slightly stronger on the backhand rallies.
Yeah, I agree. 12-13, facing match point again. There's that banana flick. The backhand reloop. Great play. Away from the table. Yeah, well done, Chen. Fantastic match, and takes the win there with that rally. And that scoreline does not do the match justice at all. That was an incredibly close 3 ends. And a really great rally to finish on, Richie.
Yeah, 12-10, 11-9, 14-12. It's just, I think when you've lost that and you're thinking, wow, I've really been in this game, and how, the result stands that I've lost 3-0.
Very fine margins. Chen just played really, really well at deuce there, I think. Very, very strong, positive, heavy topspin flick receive. And then looked to stay a little bit closer to the table, taking the ball at the top of the bounce, instead of letting it drop, and just strong top spins, and comes away with the right result. So move into the doubles now. I'm just looking around the hall and seeing that the other matches are well within the doubles. Obviously, the format these days, the doubles in the middle of the fixtures, and the match we are commentating on will be joining them slightly. Combination Salado and Bennett in the doubles for BATTS, and it looks like Anderson makes his return to the table for Brighton. Joined by the young Welshman Callum Evans. Strong pairing indeed, and this could end up being another close one, Richie. Pretty evenly matched, I would say.
Yeah, looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing Josh Bennett, a player I know very well. I used to coach him when he was a junior.
Yeah, down in the Sussex days, Richie.
Yeah, so with both Sussex County players, myself and Josh.
Before you saw the light and moved north.
Before I moved to just north of Liverpool.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
still play for Sussex.
Yeah, absolutely. And although Anderson, probably the strongest player on the table, it looks to be a evenly matched competition to me, with these two guys looking to make the mark on this doubles match. We talked yesterday about the importance of this doubles match right in the middle of these fixtures.
Yeah, crucial game. And going back to Josh, he's actually moved a little bit further north. He's now living in Leamington Spa in Warwickshire.
Yeah, well, you need to come a little bit further north yet, Richie.
Yeah, obviously not as far as the northeast. Obviously, nobody wants to live there.
North of the wall, the cultural epicenter of the UK, or not, as it may be. Certainly enjoying some cold northeast weather this weekend outside. Happily, we're contained within the 4 heated walls of Ormsby, and certainly these guys are not feeling the cold at the level they're playing at, throwing themselves around the table. Just in the warm-up, and pretty soon they'll be getting us underway.
Looking forward to seeing this combination between Anderson and Evans. First time they've actually played together this season, and both players used to practice out in Eslov. I think that's how they got the relationship with Anderson in to play for Brighton alongside Alex Naomi and Tom Jarvis a couple of years ago. It started with Connor Evans and Jordan White's representing Brighton for the first time, so this will be a nice one to see. Josh and Abraham were really impressive against Dave Macbeth and Enio Mendes yesterday in the doubles. Actually led 2-1, went down fighting 3-2. Obviously, Dave and Ennio really, really strong players in singles and combined to make an epic doubles pair. Dave with that backhand flick.
Absolutely, and we're seeing more and more strong Europeans and players from around the world coming into the British League and raising the standard, which is all good. Good from Abraham Salado there. I've been impressed with this young man. I've seen some of his progress over the past kind of year and a half as I've started coaching a couple of juniors. I've seen him at a couple of events. He's a very, very well balanced young man with good technique. Looks to be a strong match player and certainly one of the sharpest young talents in the English game that I've seen, Richie.
Yeah, really, really impressive.
He's got a long way to go in the sport yet, but it's nice to see that young promise from a young player and that potential. Lots of hard work to be done in between now and becoming an established senior, but showing some very good signs at this moment in time.
And playing alongside Josh, who's now a movie superstar, appearing in Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
He even had a line in the film.
I wonder if he can do the famed cigarette trick. Do you remember that one, Richie, with Marty Reisman? If anybody wants to type that in YouTube and see what Marty Reisman was famous for, and obviously very much that film centered around his life. I've got to confess to not seeing it, so I'm not starstruck by Mr. Bennett just yet. But
yeah, his one line was very impressive, I've got to say.
Yeah, well,
I think he said something like "Come on, Marty." I think it's something like that. I think he said.
Sometimes that's all you need, Richie. 4-all in this match now, and Callum Evans serving. Shot serve. Anderson in with it. He just misses that one, and you can see the disappointment in that movement afterwards. He got the receive he wanted to push half long. You won't see too many mistakes at that level from an opener, from a player of his calibre. Oh, service mistake. And 2 mistakes to give 2 points away there from Evans and Anderson. A miss on the open up and a miscued service. Short backhand serve there from Bennett.
Yeah, got quite a lot of rip into the backspin on that one, forcing the error into the net. Oh, nice backhand from Abraham now.
Yeah, it's really good that the backhand serve in doubles, just keeping it really tight, really short. Not necessarily looking to win the point outright, but just preventing the opponents from doing too much with it, limiting their options. Away from the table now.
I think the other benefit from a backhand serve in doubles is it actually gives your partner more room on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Oof, wow. Did that go on?
Yes. Yeah.
Chicken and rice. Now that is what you call a backhand rip from young Abraham.
Followed by a nice forehand shot from Josh.
Yeah, incredible.
Don't see too many of them.
Then from 4-all, suddenly the game's gone away from them, and 11-4, a chop block from Josh Bennett, and then the running backhand topspin. And Abraham allows himself a smile at the end of that. I think he knows that was one of his finer shots. He hopes that makes the highlight reel. And 1 game to the good. And really positive to see a youngster stepping up to the plate and looking to establish himself in this match. He's not overawed by this occasion at all, and you can see there by some of his stroke making. Doesn't seem to be any hint of nerves.
Yeah, it didn't seem to hold back at all, especially that last backhand. He just had a nice swing and it went on.
Yeah, very strong indeed.
It just seemed to go from 4-all to 11-4 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, absolutely. The game that they lost 2 or 3 cheap points, and then suddenly the BATTS pairing just upped the ante, Richie. I think they really found a purple patch of form.
And it was a very good win. I mean, if you look at like Anderson, really good Swedish player.
Yeah.
Callum Evans, 9 times Welsh champion.
Yeah, very well established, very experienced. Abraham certainly giving away a lot on the experience front to these 2 players, but he's up there with them and ably partnered by Mr. Bennett. You see Bennett to kick us off with this match now. That short backhand serve we'll see again. Tight serve. And Abraham going for that backhand topspin down the line again and again. I'm his coach. I'm not disappointed with that miss. He needs to look to do that. That's the way to win the points. This time stepping round. Great backhand from Josh there. Really impressed with this BATTS pairing so far. They look to be very, very fluent. I think Connor said this was the first time that they played together. It could have been the opposing team. You'd have to check me on that one, but they certainly look to be combining very well at this moment in time, Richie. Yeah, I'm just missing a couple of those. I watched Anderson yesterday and he was strong around the net, but he's just made a couple of errors early doors around the net. Yeah, fantastic table tennis there again. Young Abraham, very, very impressive. Sees the ball early. Seems to have time, which is a mark of sheer class, generally speaking. That's really, really strong from Callum, just punching that ball away down the line. Evenly matched now. We did see 4 in the first game and the BATTS pairing ran away. The Brighton team will be looking to prevent that. Back and serve again. In with a slow topspin. Just Abraham caught out of position there, spins the ball up, but obviously a little bit too high, and a player of Anderson's calibre is going to make that shot more times than not. And again, once again, I wonder if that's a tactic that just went quickly wide to the Salado forehand twice and just caught him out of position. He needs to be careful of that, looking to step around the backhand corner and play that forehand topspin.
Yeah, they're going wide of his forehand. As you say, Abraham's always looking to get his forehand in from his backhand side.
Just needs to wise up to that, Richie. Yeah, that's really, really clever. We've just seen 3 receives wide to the forehand, and then you see there Callum just disguising that. Okay, you're going wide forehand, slips it to the backhand side, showing his experience there. Very clever player. And once again, good touch player on the net. Oh, and he should have made that one 4-7. In the right place, but not too worried at this stage. The Brighton pairing still 3 points to the good. Great rally. Oh, top edge. Press for that receive from Abraham, and the guys playing great exchange there. Just caught out a little bit to his crossover point, forcing the top edge mistake. 4-7-8. Yeah, missing that one again.
Yeah, it was a bit of a banana flick. It went slightly long.
He's made a few errors around the net that he was really strong around there yesterday, Richie, when I watched one of his games. Strong topspin there from Josh, just changing the pace, a little bit more heavy spin, forcing the error. Variation so important. 8-7-6. Yeah, that was actually a really, really positive, strong receive from Josh Bennett there, Richie. Strong backhand flick. Looking to win the point almost outright, I think. Yeah, just seeing a few errors from Abraham, just getting caught maybe a little bit too far away from the table. Softballing it.
Yeah, I think Abraham's had slightly a loose game this time. He was very, very good in the first.
Yeah. Tremendous backhand winner there from Josh Bennett. Just cues it up. Great timing. Fast wrist, fast elbow. Good night.
Yeah, I think Josh has played well in this game. I've been impressed with his return of serve.
Yeah, I agree.
From Anderson, and he's like touching it short and flicking it.
Save another game point there, and suddenly, could they sneak this end? It looked to be a foregone conclusion at one point with the Brighton pair racing into a 4-5 point lead, but they're just clawing the way back. But Brighton, obviously, the advantage of having the serve to come. Callum Evans to serve. That was a really good receive, actually, from Abraham. If you are going to push long, you need to do it with purpose.
Yeah.
And that was a good, strong, long dig. Wasn't sure of the spin on the serve, so he gives it long, but with quality.
Yeah, you're
Long
going
game point.
dig out. You've got to dig out fast.
Absolutely.
At this level.
And once again, let's serve. Did it bounce twice?
Oh, not sure quite what happened there, but certainly the point has gone to Brighton viewer.
And suddenly, the Brighton pairing are right back in it. And great. Josh Bennett impressing me this end. He's really stepped up to the plate at this end.
Yeah.
Strong foreign flick.
He's been very solid. In some ways, unspectacular in many ways, but just solid. He's making very, very few errors.
On both wings as well. Oh, goes for that winner that time. And
Yeah.
I think it was there to go for, just miscued it.
Yeah, I think it was the right choice. Just put it slightly long.
Yeah, that's it. Backhand serve being very prevalent in this doubles game from the. Yeah, great. And that time just so clever there, actually. The Brighton pairing, suspecting Abraham's going to look for that forehand, slipped it wide, but he got his feet right round, got in the right place, and just managed to squeeze it in. And now 1 game point. Could they take it? First time of asking. And that's really, really, really impressive from a young man. To step round, play positive, fast, backhand receive.
Really good from the BATTS players there, coming from 10-6 down to come and to win that game at Juice, to go 2-0 up.
Absolutely. And you see there, that's really good signs for the future from young Abraham there. He doesn't look to play net, he looks to play positive. He's missed a couple of those, but he trusts his game, steps round, rips that backhand, and absolutely the right shot to play at love all or at 10-all. Plants his feet, lets it rip, and plays the winner. Very, very promising indeed. And the players just making their way back to the table now. A couple more spectators joining us in the hall, which is great to see.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Smiles from the BATTS players. I think they know they did a Harry Houdini in that last end, 6-10 down, and managed to take the game. But like I said yesterday, there's no pictures on scorecards, Richie. The only thing that matters, who gets over the line first. Long service there. Good pick up from Abraham. Just needs to be a little bit careful, just stepping away from the table a little bit too soon. And the Brighton players just taking a bit of the pace off and catching him out of position. Yeah, heavier spin there. Like you said, Richie, Josh just doing very professional. 80%, good quality.
He's just regularly playing good shots, I think, Josh. Not necessarily winners, but he's always putting the ball on and in the right place.
Yeah, and it's not, we say just putting the ball on, Richie, but it's with quality, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Backhand serve again, and Abraham just flicking long there. Maybe a little adventurous. We'll forgive him for that one. 2-all, serving now, Anderson. Backhand serve once again. Short receive, yeah. And Josh Bennett once again pops up. He doesn't go crazy, just does enough to win the point, making sure of it. Yeah, very, very nice. And Abraham there giving some of the medicine that he received in the second end, just slipping it quickly.
He did.
Wide backhand. You do it to me, you can have it back. And gives the BATTS players now 4-2. And now a 5-2 lead and looking strong.
Looking strong to pulling away. And
yeah, good serve there from Abraham. He floated that one in half, Richie. That was one of man.
Yeah.
And just
yeah, it was an incredible amount of float on that ball.
Absolutely, and got the result you wanted. Nice receive there from Josh. When you're 6-2 up, you can have a go at those. Just steps round and what we will call that one, Richie, a backhand banana push. Wherever it was, it won the point. Oof, and that's unlucky. Abraham had wrong-footed him. Backhand topspin down the line, just missed. Not disappointed with that. 9 times out of 10, he'll make that ball. Backhand serve now from Josh, 7-7-3. Yeah, really good control there from Anderson. Actually, Richie just guiding down the line, didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, sometimes in doubles, it's just so important to put the ball in the right area.
Yeah, placement. Oh, yeah, and the problem there, Callum Evans let him in. Long ball. yeah, rueful shake of the head. He knows he pushed it back, and you can't do that too often at this level.
Yeah, great look from Josh there.
Yeah,
Point.
just taking full advantage. And once again, yeah, really good play from the BATTS pair in there. Josh, strong forehand down the line. Mr. Consistency over these 3 ends, we'd have to say, Richie.
Yeah, Josh just placed it into the right area, and it's set up Adrian to hit the winner.
Must have been that coaching from you.
Yeah,
when he was a youngster.
I've taught him everything he knows.
I can well imagine. 6 game points. It's okay, 10-4.
Hollywood finish, I think I'm going to call that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That was out of position, leaning back, rip it and grip it, and fortunately it went on. I'm not sure he'd try that one at 10-all, Richie.
If he didn't, it went off. His coach is going to let him know.
Without any shadow of a doubt. But the end result, 11-4, 13-11, 11-4, 3-0 to BATTS. Game a little bit closer than the scoreline suggests, particularly that second end. BATTS were faced 4 game points and just sneaked back to win it. It shows the importance of pinching those tight ends, Richie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that puts, unless I'm mistaken, BATTS 3-0 up on Brighton in the match.
Very good. And no one would have predicted that at the start of the game.
No, this is like second v third. Everyone was expecting a tight game. Not to say it's not going to end up as a tight match, but BATTS has certainly been really impressive start.
Yeah, but Richie, I think as you highlighted, that last one you predicted it'd go to 5. Okay, it was 3 straight, but it was 3 deuces.
Yeah.
So it's still been tight. It's still been close. The scoreline's maybe not quite telling the tale of the match, truthfully. But if you're in the BATTS camp now, you are very pleased indeed. You've got the doubles out the way. You're 3-0 up, and you've now got a few opportunities to take the points. And the pressure now is well and truly on the Brighton side. They need to step up to the plate and rapidly.
So I imagine the next match on should be Josh Bennett for BATTS against Callum Evans, playing for Brighton.
Yeah. Certainly impressed with Josh and that doubles there.
Yeah, I think Josh was the best player on the table in the doubles. But
very, very consistent quality, made very few unforced errors. Mature performance.
Yeah, Josh comes from a very strong table tennis family. His older brother Jack plays in the Championship Division, British League. His mum Teresa was a county player. His uncles Adrian and Stephen both played counties for me years ago.
Steeped in history.
Let's get started.
Yeah, it's only like a half-hour training, so it's worth
Rejoining the live action on table 1 as BATTS lead 3-0 over Brighton. Glad to be joined by Steve Bailey, member of Ormsby Table Tennis Club. Steve, obviously we've just discussed off mic there. BATTS, if you'd have offered them a 3-0 scoreline at this stage against Brighton coming into the weekend, they'd have snatched your hand off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure too many people would have predicted that, but me and Richie were talking earlier, Callum, that it's been tight, and really those games could have went either way. The 3-0 scorelines just don't do them justice. But regardless of which way you look at it, that's 3-0 to the good, and now in a very commanding position to going to take this match.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, a fixture coming up that is no stranger to these two players. Bennett versus Evans. Evans, the Brighton man in blue, and Josh Bennett in the black and the orange of BATTS.
Yeah, Josh really impressed me in that doubles match. He was very consistent, made very few unforced errors, strong from both wings. Really impressive performance indeed. So both of these players just come off the table. They'll be warmed up and absolutely ready to go and in the floor. Callum Evans, obviously world champion 9 times, I believe. Incredible achievement.
Yeah, and these two players have played each other quite a lot of times. I remember watching them take each other on at the Junior British League in Derby, Velodrome when I was younger. So watching these two in the Premier Division was really something back then, and obviously still these two players competing at the top level now. Really impressive to see.
Yeah, that's it. And as you go through the ranks, I had some experience playing last year cadets and juniors and seniors, and you kind of meet the same faces and the same characters. It's a wonderful experience, but you do get to know each other's games incredibly well. Very few surprises.
I think actually, even though it looks like these two play different technique-wise, both of them kind of like the same things. They have a preferred game style. Both of them actually, I actually think when you watch Josh and Callum, both of them will push long, and then look to reloop or kick
yeah.
or hold.
Yeah, that's it.
Josh Bennett likes to step in for the flicks, whereas Callum Evans, you'll see him touch and push a lot more. See there, pushing long again. Both players in the last 2 points pushing out. Something you don't really see at the top level, but I suppose you play to your strengths.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing it more now. 20 years ago, if you were to push a ball long like that and look for the reloop, I mean, your coach would have had you doing laps. But these days, with the change in materials and the change in the ball, some of these players now, Dako, Jorgic and Ovcharov, are actually serving half long off the side on purpose and then looking for the strong reloop, knowing the opponent from that position can't pressure them too much. Without the speed glue, you can't just rip the ball from all positions. The opponent almost has to spin up and lift and then looking for the reloop. And like you say, Callum seems to look to employ that. I mean, there we see it once again. He pushes long to the crossover, then punches. It's almost a second and a fourth ball. But as you say, Connie, if that's his style and it works for him, there's more than one way to win a point.
Really impressed by BATTS this morning. 3-0 up, raced into a 3-0 lead. Hausch and Chen, the doubles, and a victory from Abraham Salado. Really impressive against David Anderson. That's some win for the young player. However, the BATTS team can't catch Brighton. Coming into this match, they were 6 points behind. And Brighton with Ormsby left to play this afternoon, live on table 1, where Ormsby will be crowned champions. Not mathematically possible to be caught.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously now we have a case of, the BATTS boys will still be playing for bragging rights. There's no doubt about that. Competition will still be fierce, and even though they can't improve on the end position, they'll be relatively pleased with their campaign, I would have thought. And they will certainly be looking to make the mark here and take this match, send a message for next season as well.
Huge game this afternoon between North Ayrshire and Drumchapel Glasgow. A battle of Scotland, where Drumchapel need a victory against North Ayrshire to secure their safety. Orm have been really impressive this weekend, Steve. Defeating Drumchapel Glasgow in the first round on Saturday.
Yeah, you've got a player
Now sit 4th in the table.
Yeah, that's it. You've got a player of the quality of Pargarel. This guy is talent with a capital T. I say jealousy is a cruel mistress, and believe me, I'm jealous of that type of ability. Just has so much time, so much feeling. People talk about his serves, but look at the other things he does. Incredibly consistent. So much spin on the ball on both wings, and he's been brought in to do a job and steer that team to safety, and backed up ably by Sophie Early and Paul McCreary, and they've had an incredibly successful weekend so far. As now we see 7-9-8 serving Callum Evans, just edged in front. And Josh flicking along there, yeah, he's disappointed and rightfully so. He read the topspin serve, stepped around, got himself in position and made the mistake. He knows he should have made that one. 8-10 serving. Yeah, and just misses the backhand punch, and you can see he feels maybe that game went away from him a little bit. He looked to be stronger through the mid patch of that game, and Callum Evans just almost pinching that at the last. But as you say, Connor, he's almost playing his own brand of table tennis. He's making it difficult on the receive and then looking to play difficult second ball and then a strong reloop or punch on the backhand on that fourth ball.
Taking a closer look at Callum, I think a really impressive season for Callum. He's come away from playing full-time table tennis, which he did in Sweden and Archway Peterborough for some time. And he's won 16 out of 23 matches this weekend. Not this weekend, this season, my apologies.
Yeah, he's played a lot. He's tired.
Callum recently become a dad 1 year ago. His little boy Jonah, really cute. And recently married, Callum Evans.
Well, he's certainly settled at home, and 16 out of 23. That's a decent return. I'm sure he'll be reasonably pleased with that. This level.
And then if we take a look at his opponent in this match, Josh Bennett. Really interesting fun facts about Josh Bennett. Recently featured quite heavily in the Marty Supreme BAFTA winning film, Oscar nominated film, with actually talking line, and was influential in teaching Timothy Chalamet how to play table tennis for that role. Really interesting, and if you check it out, you'll see Josh Bennett in that film.
Yeah, I was saying earlier to Richie, I have to confess I've not seen it, which for a table tennis geek like me is a pretty poor show. But obviously heard about Josh's exploits, and wonderful advertisement for the sport in general. Actually, it's received so much kind of publicity and really good for the sport.
Yeah, fantastic. And you can watch Josh live on Table 1 right now, taking on the Welsh Dragon. Callum Evans, the Welsh senior number 1, 9-time Welsh national champion.
Away from the table now, and just he's one game to the good and 2-1 serving.
I think Callum really difficult to play sometimes, really structured. I think he knows what he's good at. That's lovely from Josh Bennett.
That's an example. Me and Richie were talking in the last match. You can't just play straight to a player's backhand now like that. They stay up to the table, and just that little reloop kick, so common in today's game, and certainly working out from there. And we see again there, Connor Callum just letting his opponent in on the second ball, but making it difficult and looking for the strong fourth ball.
Yeah, when I've played against Josh in the past, and we've had some close encounters over the years, as well as some not close encounters, Steve, I've got to admit. But I've quite good success digging out to Josh, making him spin up, and then actually using a punchy backhand or countering that forehand. And I think that's what Callum is having some success on here in this game.
Yeah, you're right. It does seem to be something that he kind of wants to do. Long reverse serve there to the backhand. That's not. You're going to do a reverse serve, guys. It needs to go middle on middle forehand, really. Ball moving away from you, along to the backhand. Ball coming to control point. Not the best tactically, but yeah, that's really, really good table tennis from Callum Evans. With
rally.
Josh has done well to stay in that. He was on the back foot really in that point.
Nice to see a nice number of spectators coming to watch here at Armsby Table Tennis Club, all centred around Court 1, getting ready for the highly anticipated match between Brighton and Armsby this afternoon.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, Armsby looking in a very, very commanding position to win the title at home. So the Armsby club and the Armsby camp will be pleased about that, that's for sure. And Brighton got a job on their hands yet before that match, being 3-0 down against BATTS. And so far,
Callum Evans is looking to launch a comeback.
Callum absolutely looking to get them off the mark and taking the first end. Now 4 down to 5, but just keeping his nose in front on service, 6-4.
A difficult position to find yourself in as a team, isn't it? 3-0 down, you can't afford to slip up.
Yeah,
you lose one match and that's it done.
Absolutely, the pressure's absolutely on. You just, whereas at the opposite side of the table, psychologically, is there almost a feeling of calm because you've got several opportunities to take the match. You can't take the foot off the gas, but it's you're not quite under the same pressure as having to win. That's a nice rally. Josh away from the table. It's on. Callum, big smash. Yeah, too strong there. And
Fantastic rally. Callum actually lets that ball, when somebody pushes out to his middle or his crossover, Callum steps around and lets that ball actually drop and plays a little bit late and spins that ball up really heavy. And actually Josh just holding sometimes because of the good placement. There you go, see it again.
yeah,
A really heavy spin, lets that ball drop a tiny bit below the table, getting a little bit more heavy topspin, forcing Josh his error.
yeah, that's it. And obviously, if you leave it drop, the forces came out of the ball and the opponent received, which means that you can play slow, heavy topspin and really get that awful, hangy, high spinning ball, which can be very difficult to deal with and get your bat over the top of. We've certainly seen Callum do that a lot. Holding there is comfortable. And again, it's just, he looks really strong, as you say, Connor, in that re-loop and holding part of his game.
The middle game aspect of Callum's game, I think, is really, really strong and something that has always been a strength. You know, he can rally all day.
Wow, and that receive was straight out of Hollywood. I'm not sure how he did that, but just did they call it a strawberry?
Strawberry coming around the other side of the ball, opposite to the banana.
I'm afraid that wasn't invented when I played, and I'm pleased it wasn't. Used a good effect there, and just kept his nose in front. Callum in this end, he's always just been 1 or 2 in front, and Josh now with his 2 serves to come.
You can see Callum there just pretending to throw some backhands forward. But what you'll actually find in the rally is Callum steps across to the middle a little bit more, so his crossover becomes more towards that white line, even sometimes in the forehand side, because he wants to play that backhand kick because it's such good quality and such good control.
Yeah, absolutely. And now 8-9, Josh serving the first game point. Oh, what a time to do that.
Christmas.
What a time to do that. And now 2 game points for Callum to, as you say, kind of look to begin that comeback for Brighton. Lets him in there and just holds. Oh, what an opportunity missed.
Didn't quite make the space around that forehand.
And get his legs in position. He was, I think the gameplay was correct. He was looking to hold and then step around and just didn't get himself in the right place. 10-9, 1 game point remaining. Short backsman serve, heavy topspin, and that's absolutely tremendous table tennis from Josh Bennett. Couldn't have played that better. Telegraphed it all the way, stepped round, takes the ball early, rips it wide forehand, and at 9-10 down, that's how you do it. Juice now, just to serve. With top edge. And Callum just so happy to hold from that backhand. He looks like he could just stand and do it all day. 11-10 now serving. Game point for the Welshman. Oh, and got an edge, but well intended, really positive receiver serve. He who dares wins. Josh with the backhand topspin flick and just catching the edge of the table. Short backhand serve now. Backhand exchange of it. Oof.
Mentioned this earlier when Abraham Salado faced David Anderson. I think the pressure is on you as Callum Evans right now when you've got the lead and hold every game point to actually take one of your chances.
Yeah,
and he does do that.
Does do that, and that's reverse serve there. Just that's that hangy ball that I was talking about years ago. Your coach would have absolutely went balmy at you serving half long to the forehand, but if you can get it just coming off that side in that corner without the speed glue, it's a very difficult ball to play strong. And we're seeing it with the backhand serves from Jorgic and Ovcharov at the elite level. Just that ball, just off the side. And do you push it? You can't because it's coming along. Difficult to keep it tight. You can't do a strong topspin because of the placement. And without the speed glue, you can't rip over the top of the ball. So you've almost got to just roll the ball on. And then you see the strong third ball reloop off a half-long ball. And it's becoming more and more apparent. You can do it with the backhand serve, the ball moving away, or with the reverse serve, with the serve moving away from it.
You mentioned strong elite international talent, and there'll be plenty of that in London this April, Steve.
Absolutely.
At the ITTF World Team Championships, the Centenary Championships.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I'm making my way down there to watch the guys and see some absolute elite table tennis.
And Steve, obviously the England team announcement has just been made. Tell us your thoughts on the England men's and women's team. Let's start with the women's team.
Yeah, it's obviously fantastic to see, led by Tin Tin Ho, a young lady. I'm very, very impressed with the way that she's consistently tried to add points to a game over the years. Holds the record now for the national titles, and I think now she's actually playing full time now. She's finished her studies too, which is really positive for the game. Young Ella Pashley in there, one of the Ormsby girls from years ago that I know very well. Tiana Yu, another one player, ably backed up by Jasmine Wong, and obviously the wild card, Nunyan. And it's a really, really positive thing to see, and they'll be looking to make the mark.
Yeah, some big fixtures coming up for the England women's team and the England men's team. That gets underway on the 2nd of May. England against China. What a matchup that is. So if you haven't got your tickets, be sure to check them out now.
Yeah, well,
Day pass is sold out.
That's a baptism of fire, but the England boys will be looking to make their mark of that one for sure. The bigger they come, the harder the fall. 2-1 now. Serving. Josh with a little long chop hook serve there. He does the same again. Really great receiver serve there from Callum. Great hands around the net.
Something really good for youngsters back home who's looking to learn and develop their game. You know, it's not all the flashy rallies in this one, is it, Steve? It's being won and lost around that service and receive. Good quality third ball and some really good short touch play and digging out and flicking out really well.
Yeah, and very often we talk about the winner and the rip back and the forward winner, but it's the touch play around the net that actually set that up and led to that. You don't get to that stage at the better level without being able to play tight. And we've certainly seen some of that in this game. And Callum Evans in particular, soft hands around the net, really impressive. But 1-5 down, taking the first two ends, but Josh is not going to go away lightly.
Oh, that's nice from Josh Bennett.
Yeah, really nice.
Nobody home on that forehand.
Really nice. Just Callum, I think, made the mistake there going to forehand, and Josh was already moving over. Takes the ball early, little reloop.
I think he's got really good timing, Josh Bennett. Something I've always been impressed with watching him. You know, I'm playing alongside him at the University of Nottingham. I think even when you watch him in the knock-up, everything sounds nice. He always looks like he's got time. His timing's perfect.
Yeah, he's got natural timing point, no question. Just got the ability just to put himself in the place and just wait for the ball and not snatch at it.
Not the spinniest of players, but I think with that timing, he gets away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's 8-2 up now and just goes for that strawberry. I can't
comprehend.
It's just not something I can get my head around. But I'm afraid
strawberry's not in your vocabulary, is it, Steve?
I'm afraid I'm showing my age there. But you know, he's done it successfully a couple of times, and 9 now serving 2. Nice classic forehand just off the push ball, just slips it into the middle forehand area. Big game points, and if this one has got away from Callum and just decides to, okay, that game's done, I'm going to go and get my thoughts together in the timeout and in the end of the game, and look to come back strong.
Let's get started.
Seeing the same thing. Back to the action now. After the end of that end of game, Josh to kick us off. It's in the forehand topspin there and just losing 2 against serve, which he won't be delighted with. He needs a good start to this end. He's certainly got off to a flyer in the last one.
The Evans serves are something that has worked in his favour so far in this one. I think Callum has such a variation and variety of serves. Not only are the action and the actual serve itself different, but also the spins. Each one he does, he can do float, backspin and topspin with that action all looking the same. And that's a fantastic backhand from Callum Evans.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got off to a flyer. And to be honest, tactically, this end, he's done everything right. Unforced error from Josh in the forehand, but the other three really strong positive points. And Josh, quite rightly, in my opinion, calls a timeout. He's 2-1 down. He's lost the first 4 points. If you're not careful, you're 5 or 6 down and 2-11. I'm afraid that's a long road to home. So I think that's a good timeout called by player or coach. Just recognising that this end is slipping away, and Callum seemed to be filled with confidence, and why wouldn't you at 4-0 up?
Back to the live action.
And Josh now 5-0 down and a long road to home. Needs to get going quickly here. We'll see a little change of serve. Long to the back.
Yeah. See you later. Really nice from Callum Evans. It's that, it's something I try and talk to my kids about. It's that delayed receive, and it's not commented on enough.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's that change, that variation, deception.
You almost just watched Josh there look to step round, just waited that split second longer and just went, "You going that way? Okay." And then sends him the other.
We talk so strongly to our up-and-coming players and even elite players about good timing, early timing. But the delayed receive doesn't mean that you're late on that timing, does it, Steve? It just means that you are early, you see it early, and it's just you've already made the choice in your head where you're going. You know what you're doing, and then disguise.
Yeah, there's
a little bit.
There's a huge difference when it's done with purpose. When we talk about it's too late, it's too late. Well, okay, that's right. If you're looking to take the ball early, you call it out of position. But if you're in the right place and electing to give it an extra split second to spin it up or to position it, that's not a case of being too late.
Yeah. Even in this one, we've seen Callum let that ball drop low. Yes, by the textbook, he probably is a little bit too late. Or Paul McCreary yesterday against Aaron McKibben. But that heavy ball, you have to let the ball drop a little bit to play that slow and heavy topspin. And if it works for you, it's a very clever tactic to employ.
Absolutely. And 9 serving 2 now. And Callum Evans in a very strong position, 10-2. And Josh Bennett just
seems to have faded away in this one, doesn't he?
Doesn't quite know what's hit him after pinching that third end. So he had a really bad start, and it just shows you've got to be quick out of the blocks. And Callum going for the relook there down the line again. Interestingly, electing to let Josh in and keeping his bat high, look for the strong fourth ball reloop, and still got 7 match points. And there it is, the loop to the crossover point, and I'm not sure Josh knows what's hit him. He certainly isn't waltzing in this one.
Who's left then in this one? What's left?
I don't know. I'm just looking at Paul score against Larry.
Who's?
Paul and Larry. Richard, do you want to come in for this? I want to go watch Paul and Larry.
Yeah, sure.
If he's losing, I'm going to shout.
Yeah, big game down the bottom there.
Oh, could take some good videos, that one.
Yeah, could be good. Player against coach.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, yeah. Paul, yeah. Player against coach. Maybe years ago when Paddy kicked off. The coach, he stands behind me every day in training. He didn't know how to do it like that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what he's going to do? Come on.
Let's get started.
If you're just joining us now, BATTS lead Brighton 3 points to 1, 3 rubbers to 1 on table 1. Huge affair between second and third placed Brighton and BATTS. Brighton can't be caught in second place. BATTS can't be caught in third place. But neither team can be crowned champions, as we already know where the trophy will be going at the end of today, as we are at the finale of the BCL Premier Division, the 25-26 season. I'm glad to be joined by Richie Bennett, Table Tennis England director, for this one. Huge game coming up, as Brighton have just launched their comeback with Callum Evans overcoming Josh Bennett 3 games to 1. And now we'll see Chen take on David Anderson. Richie, tell us your thoughts about this match coming up.
Yeah, really interesting game. Each team in the league are allowed to have one player from outside the British Isles. And this is a clash of the 2 number ones, David Anderson from Sweden against Chen from China. Chen having won his first match, Anderson having lost his first match. But I still think this is lining up to be a very, very close one.
Yeah, I have to agree there with you, Richie. I speak to the BATTS team quite often, and they mention how strong Chen is in the warm-up. It just doesn't seem that performance translates onto the table, whether that's a lack of match practice, as he's the BATTS head coach and obviously works with Anna Hersey, or whether it's just some nerves sometimes when he gets in a close position.
Well, I think if you look at Chen's first game, he played Felix Thomas and he won like 3 deuces. It was a very, very tight match, but he came through in a very tight game 3 times on the trot.
David Anderson, no stranger to the elite level of table tennis. 2-time Swedish national doubles champion at junior level with good friend and a name some of you may know at home, Jules Morgard. David practicing at the Eslov club out in Sweden. His dad, a full-time coach.
Yeah, good start here from Anderson's, taking an early 4-2 lead on Chen. But it's Chen to serve, see if he can try to level it up.
Only 2 seasons ago, BATTS took on Brighton on a final day battle when the league format was home and away. Brighton coming out on top at the Brighton Dome, claiming their first ever British title at the senior British clubs leagues.
Obviously, been a change of format this year. It's now got the central venues from home and away, and talking to the players in the hall, they seem to be really favouring the new format. Getting 4 matches over a weekend.
I think it also improves the standard, Richie. Bringing in these overseas players, they come over and they play more matches for the spectators to watch. It really makes it worth coming out and watching and tuning in at home on YouTube. So be sure to like and subscribe, as every match will be available to watch throughout the week, plus highlights and selected matches of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean the Premier Division now is so strong, so much stronger, I think, than when I played in it years ago. We didn't have all the foreign players playing at the time. It was very much a British league for British players at the time, and I really like to see the foreign players coming over. The standard has really ramped up the standard in the Premier Division.
I remember one year playing against Drumchapel Glasgow in the Premier Division for Halton Table Tennis Club, and the Drumchapel Glasgow team included Eugene Wang, Olympian from Canada, Pan American champion, and He Bai from China, and also He Wen, the veteran legend from Spain. You've not got much chance when those 3 rock up.
Yeah, it's good to see them over here, but I'm not sure I'll be wanting to play them. Certainly, I've seen Heasy when playing the World Veterans Championships, and he was just something else.
A little bit like Chen, left-hander, can they catch people out on that serve? What's the difference, Richie, obviously facing a left-hander when you're receiving serve?
Well, left-handers generally serve short to your forehand, which is, I know that just seems quite easy, but certainly being a right-hander playing another right-hander, most serves come to your backhand. It's for a lot of players, their touch on their forehand is not as good, so it puts them under a certain amount of pressure that you're not used to.
Let's take a look closer at Chen. you know, being from China, obviously the standard being so high over there, it is a little bit of a different game, isn't it? You know, compared to his ranking over in China. But is it right, Richie? We read somewhere that he defeated Lin Shidong a number of years ago.
Yeah, I was trying to chat with him earlier. His English is not the best, but yeah, I was reading a biography on him. He said when he was a junior, he beat Lin Qindong 3-1 in a Chinese tournament, and obviously Lin Qindong since then has gone on to world level, so hugely impressive.
It's Chen that starts on the front foot in this second end, taking the very first point. Anderson picks up that half long really nicely. Oh, nice, round the net. Unable to win the point though, unfortunately. A little bit of fortune from House and Chen. Some huge matches going on elsewhere in the hall. Larry Chumpowska, student versus master, as he takes on Paul Drinkall, the England junior boys coach. Coach taking on player as Drumchapel Glasgow face Fusion down the bottom end. North Ayrshire keep fighting for survival. They're just keeping their nose in front in that relegation battle that they probably didn't think they might be in at the start of the weekend. But Ormau bringing in Pargarel, who defeated Paul Drinkall yesterday. You know, they're now up to fourth in the table. Richie sitting one place behind BATTS. That's such an impressive performance over this final weekend.
Yeah, and it's great to see Pargarel here. Yeah, I've just been hugely impressed with him. What a fantastic player.
Three Swedes in the hall, actually, Richie. David Anderson being one, who's on your screen in the blue shirt right now. Hugo Torngren from North Ayrshire. And also Pargarel that we've just spoken about. A Czech Republic international in the form of Simon Bennett. And of course, the England international, Paul Drinkall.
And we've got a few Chinese players here. I think there's a Japanese player playing on the table 4 down the bottom there. So it's yeah, we've got an array of talent from all over the world here today. Going on the match on the table now, see 4-4 this time. Anderson took the first game quite comfortably, 11-4, but it seems to be a bit more competitive in the second end.
We speak about international talent there, Richie, but actually homegrown talent proved useful in the first game in this fixture as Abraham Salado defeated David Anderson, and what a victory that was for the young 15-year-old player.
Yeah, it was a huge win for Abraham, and I just think it's. I know that the England coaching setup have got, you know, see Abraham as a future England senior international.
Hard not to when you're competing on the international stage and having real success, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of very talented youngsters around at the moment, and we're all hoping they're going to progress and to be really fully fledged, impressive internationals and winning on the international stage.
A strong start from David Anderson in this match so far as Brighton look to launch their comeback. Bit too big there from House and Chen. He actually ended up on the floor, nearly doing a full spin 360 there. Leveling up the scores at 6-all in this second end. I think he's really tall, isn't he, David Anderson? You can see there on the screen. What do you think advantage-wise that gives him, Richie?
Yeah, I think for tall players, certainly like Anderson, I don't know how tall he is. He certainly looks well over 6 foot to me. But you've got a huge wingspan. Obviously, it's difficult to catch anybody of that size wide because their length of their arm and their length of their legs are just going to get there. So I was always taught to play tall men into their body. So it's not. It has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages.
I think for me, this game is really important for House and Chen. I think if he does go 2 to the good, I think this game might be good night Vienna. I think Anderson really is a confidence player sometimes. I think when he is, because of the control that he has in his game, you can just see how solid he is on that block and that open up. Being 2-0 up in that position, he's just going to take control more and more.
Yeah, I was watching Anderson in his first match. I was very impressed with his serves. He gets he really rips into the ball and gets a lot of chop or topspin, whatever he's trying to put onto it.
It's a nice backhand punch from Anderson. He changes between that kick, that big topspin, and that punch, doesn't he? That variation is something that young players can really aspire to learn from by watching the amazing standard on display here, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching, as I wasn't commentating on the last game, I was just watching Callum Evans, and he seems to have a really impressive punch. And then when he wants to rip into that backhand loop, I was very impressed with Callum Evans' backhand in the last match. And I think David Anderson's got something of that as well.
It's almost a Swedish style, isn't it? We see it with Truls Morgard quite often. You know, Matthias Falk. Christian Carlsen's a little bit different. (10-9) now. 1 game point remaining. Can the Swedish style and that little bit of flair get him over the line? Backhand serve, and he's done it. He's over the line. Richie, we spoke about the Sweden men's team just a second ago, and a team that is going to face off against the Sweden men's team coming up is the England senior men's team at the ITTF World Team Championships, led by Tom Jarvis in the absence of injured Liam Pitchford. Liam, if you're watching at home, get well soon. We can't wait to see you back on the table. Paul Drinkall, who's here this weekend representing Drumchapel, will also be joined by Sam Walker, Connor Green, and wildcard Joseph Hunter, who has had a successful season. Richie, obviously defeating Connor Green to reach the semi-finals of the English National Championships and the quarter-finals of the European Youth Championships with some real impressive performances. How do you see the tournament going for the England men's team?
Well, I think looking at that squad there on the screen, it's a good squad. It's obviously we missed Liam, and you know, get well soon, Liam. We'd really love to have you back playing in the England team again. But it's obviously I love watching Tom Jarvis play. Paul's got such an array of experience, as has Sam, and they got the 2 youngsters with Connor and Joseph. Joseph had a fantastic last 12 months.
Definitely going to be an exciting April and May coming up. So if you haven't got your tickets already, make sure to get them now. You can head to tabletennisengland.co.uk to find out more around anything regarding the World Championships. You can also stay up to date with everything England related. Fantastic rally there. Stay up to date with everything England related and all your table tennis news in one place on our social media channels: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. Be sure to check those out for even more updates. Right now we're live on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. Be ready for 2:30 today, where Ormsby will take on Brighton live on Table 1, and Ormsby will be crowned champions. You can see that presentation made live on YouTube.
Yeah, it should be a great match coming up this afternoon. Obviously, we see these Brighton players back to the table for the last match, first v second in the league, which is how it should be the last match of the season.
Without Igor Zavadsky this weekend, they found it a little bit tough. Slipped up against Fusion in the very first match of yesterday, and that obviously put them out of the title race straight away.
Yeah, I was disappointed that Igor's not here. You know, as a chopper, he's absolutely fantastic to watch. Yeah, disappointed that he's not made the team today.
Really good investment from the Brighton team, isn't it? Bringing in one of the top UK-based players in the shape of Callum Evans, and then you can add in your foreign talent in the form of David Anderson. That's why Drumchapel Glasgow bringing in Paul Drinkall is such a great signing. Ormsby have been so dominant, having David Macbeth in the team, but then also backing up with Jose Aniel Mendes from Portugal. Chen leads by 4 points in this third end.
Good fast serve there from Anderson. Completely caught Chen out. I think he looked like he was expecting a short serve.
That's nice play from David Anderson. Serves with purpose, doesn't he, Richie? It's not just quality on the serve, he actually serves with a plan in his head of what he wants coming back. And that's what good players do. They know what spin they're putting in the ball, can anticipate where that next ball is going to be played.
Yeah, good players with good serves. They'll they'll have an expectation of what the return is going to be, and they will set themselves ready for it, and they'll know that before they've even served the ball. Yes, it's like playing. It's a bit like playing chess, isn't it? You're playing not just the shot you're playing ahead.
And that's right. And it's really important to mention also, even though they have an idea of where the ball's going to go, they can't preempt what's going to happen. So they keep the bat nice and high after they've served. They don't just watch the serve. They recover with the bat high, ready to move to either forehand or backhand and cover each wing. As you'll see, David Anderson there, the bat is up. He doesn't know whether it's coming backhand or forehand, and he's able to just get his bat in the right place and kick the ball back over with quality. I reckon we might see another long fast serve coming up, or chiselled backspin serve. That is the long fast again. He's having real success with that long fast serve, able to follow up strong. I think when Chen gets in first, that's where he's really dangerous.
Yeah, so he did a long fast serve to the backhand, so he's not going to get a stronger shot from the backhand side, and he can deal with that easier than the forehand. Chen's got a very big forehand when he gets it in.
First time in this end, David Anderson takes the lead. Chen's head just went down slightly there. Like I mentioned earlier, it was really important, I thought, for Chen to take that second end. And now it looks like David Anderson is in the driving seat. Didn't just quite get round enough. Sunk his legs nicely, but didn't make the space around that backhand side for the open up.
Anderson just looks like he's generally been in control of the match so far.
Yeah,
I think he's looking to close it out now.
Chen, like you mentioned there, Richie, that big wild forehand, enough to claim the point and take a 9-8 lead. I think from Anderson, I'd have to stick with that long to faster backhand. Chen's backhand is noticeably weaker.
Yeah. Yeah, back to 9-all now, but at least Chen has the advantage of serving at the end to try to close the game out for his point of view and keep himself in the match.
Really close, tight moment here at 9-all in this third end. Make or break for Hao and Chen. And it is Chen. Comes out on top on the first point of his serve. Always nice to have serve in hand at 9-all. Especially when you're looking to set yourself up with that big forehand like Chen does. Oh, what a fantastic reloop. Hao and Chen. Real exercise in how to execute from 9-all. We'll take a look back at that game point. Just look at this forehand reloop, Richie.
Yeah, it was. If I'd have been Anderson, I'd probably been trying to loop it to his backhand rather than down the line here, because that's what Chen can do, and he's got a really good forehand, good powerful forehand to hit the winner from.
Maybe anticipated Chen stepping round. Lots more action to come, including Abraham Salado taking on Felix Thomas. And then at 2:30 this afternoon, don't go anywhere. Make sure your reminders are set as we have first versus second. The clash everyone's been waiting for. We was hoping it would be a title deciding battle, but still some epic table tennis, elite world-class table tennis on display between Alsby and Brighton.
Okay, here we are for game 4. First point goes to David Anderson. Little punch of the fist there from Anderson when he wins that. I think he's probably a little bit annoyed with himself for dropping the third game 11-9, and he wants to close this match out 3-1 if he can. He seems to be really up for this game. Early 3-0 head start. Heavy side spin, top spin, backhand serve there from Anderson. And timeout is called by Chen. Probably a good time. He's gone 3-love down in this end. An end that he has to take to stay in the match. So I see Chen over there having a drink, working out in his own mind what he needs to do. Anderson comes back to the table. So this is Chen's timeout, so he decides how long it takes. He's allowed a minute maximum, but if he comes back to the table early, his opponent has to come back. But I think Chen's pretty much taken his whole time. Right, here we go for the fourth point. Certainly initially it seems the timeout has worked. Chen gets on the board, 3-1 down with a big forehand loop. And now serving, see if he can get back to parity in this game. Good serve from Chen there. Brings it back to 4-2. Yeah, well played from Anderson. Did a bit of a higher tosser on his serve there. Yeah, well played, Chen. Just hanging in there. It's only 2 points down. 5-3. It seems to be a clash to me of like in some ways two superpowers. China always being the superpower in table tennis, and Sweden for so many years, kind of their rivals, certainly in the years of Wagner and Persson, and seeing this clash between a Swede and a Chinese player here. But certainly Sweden's on top at the moment, 7-3 up, hoping to close this match out. And certainly Brighton need it. They're 3-1 down. They were 3-0 down. Anderson can finish the job off. That make it 3-2. Keep the match in the balance. Eight 3 just seems to be pulling away. Just does seem to be in control here to me, Anderson. I think Chen's head's just slightly drops. I think he can see the inevitable coming. I've no doubt he'll carry on fighting. Yeah, well played, Anderson. Good rally there, I thought. Right, 6 match points. Can Anderson finish it off here? And there it does. Service return in the nets. Match to David Anderson, 3-1. And it just seemed to be, I felt all the way through, just slightly the better two players. So that leaves the match score. BATTS 3, Brighton 2. And next match up, I see Abraham Salado stepping on the table.
get started.
Right, here we go again for game 6 in this match. And we've got Abraham Salado playing Callum Evans. Okay, two players who won their first games. Callum Evans had a good win over BATTS Josh Bennett, 9 times Welsh national champion. I think when I spoke to him earlier, I said to him, "Are you chasing Ryan Jenkins' record of 12?" And he kind of shrugged his shoulders. But I felt that he meant yes, he was chasing it. Up against a very impressive Abraham Salado, originally from Bradford. I think he's moved to Sheffield now to be at the England Elite Training Centre in Sheffield. I think there's been a slight delay. I think the umpires had a bit of a rest break, perhaps. Players have had a knock, a bit of a chat. Sorry for the delay at the moment, but the umpires come back and the players are knocking again. There's some tremendous matches going around the hall. I've just been hearing that Larry Trumpowskis has beaten Paul Drinkle 3-0 on table 4. It's a really impressive win for the young English player against the more experienced England international. Yeah, particularly looking forward to this game. I think it's difficult to yet another game that's I think is 50-50. Both players have played really well in this match so far. Both been successful and given points to their teams. Just finishing off their 2-minute warm-up. They've done 4 and a 4 and they're just working on backhand to backhand. Looks like they're preparing to start. Looks like Callum Evans is going to get us underway. We're serving the first point of the match. Here we go. Level. Okay. Good start from 16-year-old Abraham there. Taking the first 2 points on Callum Evans' serve. Okay. I think there must have been a let serve in there. Okay, that's better from Callum. He's had a little bit of a slow start, first 3 points, but a good backhand there. Brought him on the board. Very impressed with Callum's backhand when he played Josh Bennett earlier. Thought his backhand was really impressive. And with that, he hits a forehand winner. And yet the makings of another close match. As we get to 4-all in the first game. Right, let's see, Callum, what sort of serves is he pulling out here? Little pendulum serve there. But point goes to Abraham Salado. Okay, let's serve the reverse pendulum. She does again. But again, Abraham doesn't get that one back. 5-all. He's employing the high toss serve. Getting a lot of spin on that serve. You can see it was a let serve, but you can see after it hit the net, it just kicked off with so much spin. Fantastic rally of the game so far. As Callum Evans takes it and brings it back to 6-all. Both players, I thought, did some really good top spins. Yeah, another really good backhand from Callum. Really impressed with Callum's backhand. He doesn't just sort of counter hit. The ball comes to him and he gets a lot of topspin on the ball. Well played, Abraham. Levels the match at 7-all with his serves to come. He's going to carry on with the high toss serve. He's been doing it for a while now. Oh, a little bit lower on the toss that time. Right, 8-all. It's been a bit, since 4-all, it's been a bit touch and go. They've all been hanging in there. Okay.
Oh, that's a nice backhand down the line from Callum Evans. Just waited for Salado to step round, and it's that delayed receive that me and Steve spoke about earlier when Callum played. I think he's a little bit of a master at that. Really close encounter so far in this first end. Oh.
Yeah, interesting rally. I think Abraham played a couple into the body of Callum, which Callum only just got back, but when he played it to his backhand, Callum hit the winner straight from it. I think if I was Abraham, I'd be being very careful for Callum Evans' backhand. And another backhand win from Callum actually takes the game.
Let's have a look at that. Big backhand winner once again, Richie.
Yeah, I'd like the way that he doesn't just play through the ball. He actually hits it with an incredible amount of topspin. I think this is the replay of the one down the line. I think at 9-8. Oh no! Yep, there you go. That's a great shot.
Really strong performance from Callum Evans so far in this fixture. Obviously, started off that Brighton comeback, overcoming Josh Bennett 3-1. Now takes a 1-0 lead against Abraham Salado. If Callum's able to convert this lead into a victory, that will mean we go to a decider between BATTS and Brighton. and that will be contested between Felix Thomas and Josh Bennett. Really exciting matchup coming up, Richie.
Right. I mean, if it is 3-3 coming into that would be really exciting. So I know both teams will want to win. It'd be interesting. I spoke to Felix earlier, and I said to him, give us a prediction for the match score. And he was slightly reluctant, but then said, okay, I'll give it to you. I think Brighton will win 4-3. So he may have the chance to prove that if he can beat Josh Bennett at 3-3.
I'll start from Callum Evans.
Interesting test for the young Abraham Salado. You know, Callum's a very good player, 9 times world champion, as we've said. You know, if Salado can actually overcome, just seems to be another step on that ladder of improvement for me.
Callum just stays in that rally so well, doesn't he? He can rally all day. Not coming out on top this time. A little bit too passive on the forehand blocks. Got to take that counter on a little bit. Make sure the pressure is on your opponent throughout.
Yeah, I just feel like Abraham stepped up here. He just seems to be just that little bit quicker, a little bit sharper in his second game.
He did that in the first game, didn't he, Richie, against David? He lost the first and then came out on top 3-1.
Yeah, could you see a determination in his body language and everything? Well played, Abraham. Good rally there. Did well away from the table to end up winning that point. Bring it to 4-4. Right, Abraham with one more serve left, 5-4 up. I did the right thing there, I felt. He run around his backhand and get these strong forehand looping. Didn't quite give it enough lift and put it in the net.
I think Salado could look to be a little bit more aggressive off the Evans serve. Some of those Callum Evans serves do drift a little bit. Had the pleasure of picking up them many times. See that one, I think you could just get after. Obviously, the view we have here from the commentary box is slightly different. It's very difficult, isn't it, Richie, to pick up that half long at this level when you're under such pressure.
Yeah, and you know you need to do a good return. You can't be overly passive because you'll pay if you are.
Fantastic punch down the line from Callum Evans. I really like to see that shot, Richie.
I've been very impressed with Callum Evans' backhand during the 2 matches I've seen in this match. He was very good early against Josh Bennett, and it's been good again here.
That's what Abraham Salado has to do for me, though. Get Callum Evans out wide into that forehand. He's so good around that middle. Even from crossover, he's able to step across and make it with the backhand, playing good quality backhands from 3/4 of the table sometimes.
Yeah, I think certainly Abraham needs to move Callum around, catch him wide of the forehand, and then get wide to the backhand.
That's very nice from Callum Evans, who still oozes a lot of quality on the court. Not practicing full time anymore. A regional officer for Table Tennis Wales. Really great to see Callum still being involved in the sport. Developing the next generation of Welsh talent. Abraham Salado, the next generation of England talent himself. High hopes for Abraham Salado, competing at WTT Feeder Manchester and WTT Star Contender London at senior level, getting that experience under his belt. But Callum utilises his experience and gets a 2-0 lead in this game.
Yeah, it was difficult to predict, like so many of these games are, who was going to win this. But Callum's taken a 2-game lead here. He does look on top, to be fair. He just seems to have the slight edge over Abraham in this match.
Yeah, and obviously Richie, very experienced competitor as well, certainly winning on the experience stakes, and that can make all the difference at this level in terms of shot selection. When do we do what serve? What do we do at 5-all? What do we do at 8-all? Abraham, those youthful years, just playing a little bit more on feeling and instinct.
Okay, so we're just getting ready to start game 3. Callum Evans will be serving first.
Yeah, just see that receive there, just to Abraham's middle, forcing a slightly weaker ball. Long serve there, just misses his follow-up, as we discussed earlier. Callum does sometimes like to almost let the player in and look for the counter or the reloop.
Yeah, I thought Abraham picked up a backhand with a lot of spin there. I thought we did well with the return.
Yeah, and in first there again with that favoured forehand. Slow, difficult one to the elbow. Yeah, it's good tactics actually from Abraham there. He serves the first one short middle, brings Callum over with that backhand flick, then flicks him, switches him wide to that backhand corner. Tactically astute for a young man of his age. Yeah, nice table tennis away from the table. Just that switch wide forehand. One thing I've noticed about young Abraham Ritchie over this weekend is a very promising player, but just maybe giving ground a little bit too easily. I think he needs to try and steal up a little bit more for his style. We'll see it there again.
Yeah, a little bit passive on the return, I thought there. He'd let Callum attack him. Callum's got back into this at 3-all.
The Salado serve, high toss, weight of the ball, aiding in the amount of spin you can impart. And once again, caught maybe a little bit away from the table. I do think he's possibly the quicker of the two. I think he probably needs to step in a foot and try and take that ball at the top of the bounce, but a great switch wide from the Welshman.
Yeah, I think Salado needs to get back into this. He needs to be getting his powerful forehand in.
Well, that's a great flick.
It's a fantastic flick. You know, getting his forehand in and maybe into the body, wide to Callum's forehand. That's how I think he's best tactics for this match.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good, strong play from Callum Evans there. Very impressive, actually. Just the long, fast serve, very quickly round, anticipated the return, and quick winner right across the table, and showing all his experience and class and quality to take a 6-3 lead. Timeout called by the BATTS camp, and I think it's a good one, Richie.
Yeah, it's good timing. Obviously, he's 2-0 down. It's just starting to slip away. Abrams.
Yeah, you get that feeling, Richie. It's just the game is slipping away from him, just moving against him a little bit.
Yeah, Abrams just off camera chatting to the BATTS coach, Cliff Carter, trying to give him some tactics, get himself going, get him encouraged to let's go again. This is still winnable.
Yeah, he needs to change something up. I wonder if we'll see a tactical change when he comes back to the table. I think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more positive. At the moment, he's just being outpowered by Callum, and I think he needs to stay close to the table and look to take the ball a little bit earlier for his particular style.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He needs to start trying to take the initiative here.
And two long fast serves in a row at the backhand as well. That's clever. And 8-3 to the Welshman now, 3-8 down, and there's an air of inevitability about this now. And
no, that's better.
Yeah, I mean that was.
I thought it got on actually, but I thought he hit a backhand down. I thought he hit a backhand winner down the line, but it must have drifted just long. Nice flick there from Abraham.
Yeah, 4-9. Actually, Abraham very sportingly calling a let. I don't think the umpire saw it. I don't think Callum saw it, but let's
No, I didn't see it.
and another backhand straight. Callum's actually done 3 serves out of 4 long and fast to Abraham's backhand, but he's dealing with it a lot better now. Goes long, and this match is just well and truly got away from young Abraham.
Yeah, it's just slipped away. The timeout didn't help.
And that's it.
And there we have it.
Game over. And an 11-4 result.
Yeah, it's been a very good match for Callum Evans. He's won both his matches for Brighton. He brings Brighton level at 3-3 from 3-0 down. And it's all on the last match of the day, Josh Bennett against Felix Thomas.
Welcome back now as we start this 5th match. Mr. Bennett against Mr. Thomas. And we certainly saw Jack put up a very, very strong doubles performance and seemed to let his singles get away from him slightly.
Really great comeback from Brighton. 3 to the good they were. Now 3-all heading into this all-important clash between Felix Thomas and Josh Bennett.
Yeah, all credit to them there. Very, very impressive, Connor, to be 3 games down. We talked about them being under pressure and how they're going to respond to that, and they've stepped up to the plate, responded admirably.
Really difficult, isn't it, when you're 3-0 down in any match, even when you're 2-0 down in the singles.
Yeah, absolutely. You've really got to turn it on when it matters most. And to be fair to the Brighton team they have, Josh looks extremely focused going into this match. He knows that he's been given an opportunity that maybe needs to take and get the win for the team.
Yeah, commanding position from the BATTS team to start this one. They'll be disappointed to have let that slip and the Brighton team fight back, especially when you're playing second versus third in the league table. You've got to take your opportunities, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. And just seeing there, I think Felix looks to be very, very dialed in as well, and he knows that he's been given a chance to really stake his claim and win this game from being 3 down. So
I really like Felix's attitude, no matter whether the team's out of it or the team's in it. You know, he's always battling, always fighting to stay in the game, always to win every singles, and that's a really good attitude to have, I think.
yeah, of course it is, and it's also contagious within a team as well. You know, you need players like that on the bench and those type of personalities, and that certainly helps when you're 3 games down. You know, when you're 3 matches down, to have that type of character who's always ready to fight, take him with you in the trenches.
Some huge results around the hall this morning. Not only in a team perspective, Fusion overcoming Drumchapel, which sees Drumchapel all but relegated now. Huge battle taking place between Paul McCreary and Colin Dalgleish on table 3. That match 3-all between North Ayrshire and Ormal. North Ayrshire slipped just 1 place above the relegation zone with Drumchapel left to play. However, a huge performance by a youngster, Larry Trumpauskas, overcoming the one and the only Paul Drinkall in 3 straight games, helped Fusion send Drumchapel back in from the British Clubs League's Premier Division.
Yeah, absolutely. And I watched that game. Larry swung from the heels, really positive play, and great to see, obviously inflicting a defeat on my friend Paul, but all credit to Larry. Really played well in that match and certainly spoke to Paul afterwards, and he commended Larry for his performance, which is positive to see. The youngsters coming through and challenging the established pros.
Yeah, student versus the master in that one, and Larry speaking to him after it, he was almost gobsmacked, lost for words, but you know he couldn't call Paul a legend enough, and it meant so much to him to beat a player of Paul's calibre.
Yeah, absolutely, and all credit to him for that. As we now see 8-7-7 in this critical fixture.
Josh Bennett, fresh from Hollywood.
Nice tight serve there, and just got in first with a heavy topspin.
He does a little bit like what we mentioned Callum Evans did in the previous game, letting that ball drop a little bit and getting that slow, heavy, hanging ball, making it hard for Felix Thomas, who likes to step away from the table, doesn't he, Steve?
Yeah, that's it. And I think he's very, very good at shot selection from what I can see. If he's not in the right place, he takes his time and spins it up. If he's in the right place, he'll rip it. And that shot selection is really, really important, and takes that first end. You can see how much it means to him there. A little backhand flick and gets over the line.
Yeah. So a really good friend of mine mentioned to me once, and it's actually a bit of a daft saying, but it is really true. If you can't play a good shot, don't play a bad one. As daft as that sounds.
No, it's right. That's it. And at times you see maybe the shot selection being questioned. If you're not quite in the right place, you don't have to give it only 20%, but give it 80%.
Yeah.
Give it as much as you can whilst being consistent.
Josh Bennett, full of accolades over the years. His latest achievement coming off the table, but yet on the table and on the screen, as he featured in the Marty Supreme Hollywood blockbuster. And quite an active role in that movie, but also a British home nation's senior team gold medalist and a senior mixed doubles national champion alongside Tintin Ho when he was at the University of Nottingham. He's currently ranked 24 on the England rating list. The England rating list including foreign players as well as English players. With Felix Thomas 43 on the rating list. Felix unbeaten after weekend 1, actually, of the British Clubs League's Premier Division, making his debut at weekend 1 in North Ayrshire, and actually now losing 10 matches over the season just shows how hard it is to be consistent at this level with such good talent in the room.
Yeah, that's right. Anybody who goes a full season unbeaten, because all these guys can play, and all it takes is somebody to have a fly or an off day, or maybe a clash of styles against a lefty or a defender or anything else. And that shows, I mean, to win all matches in the weekend is a great achievement for young Felix. Great rally, fantastic rally there. Quick exchange of backhands. And this is turning into a really, really good match to watch.
The only unbeaten player so far this season, Steve, is Jose Anil Mendes of Ormsby, who we'll see on Table 1 this afternoon, live from 2:30. Hope you'll join us for that one, Steve, as we crown Ormsby champions once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, I think Enio playing down at 3 is advantageous. You know, he's definitely a very, very strong player, and a player of his level, almost a banker at 3. And I think the stats have showed that, but still a great achievement to maintain that level of consistency. We see now Mr. Bennett moving into a 3-1 lead and serving, and he's absolutely up for taking the points for his team in this encounter. They want bragging rights, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I think Josh was actually the first player on the BATTS team to lose in the singles today, losing out to Callum Evans, 2 players that have played each other at youth level quite a few times, England versus Wales. So he'll be hoping to put things right and bring the points home for BATTS.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't really seem to get going as much as he could in that match, but definitely finding his form now. Callum really stopped him from playing and played very well, but Josh looking more consistent and more solid now. 5-1 in a game to the good. Let serve there, call by the umpire. Good short backspin serve to the crossover point by Felix. Really good hands there from Josh. He read the short topspin hook serve and just put it as wide as he possibly could. Not to the middle of the forehand, but just to the white line, making it difficult. And a commanding 5-point lead now in this end.
Looking to target that crossover point of Felix Thomas, isn't he, Josh Bennett? You see that receive, that flick out, going to the crossover, and also that first topspin. Felix then does step round and then looks to drop off from the table. I think that's where Josh is really exploiting him in this match.
Yeah, he's played very, very good match so far, Josh. I mean, he missed that forehand topspin, but Felix actually got a net. Before that, he was in control at that point, and very, very impressive, mature performance so far. Obviously, a lot more experienced and played a lot longer than young Felix. On paper, the level is very similar, I would say. But
yeah, Josh Bennett in the England junior team with Tom Jarvis, Luke Saville and Matthew Leet that reached the quarterfinals of the European Youth Championships. Probably the best success the England junior boys team has had for a number of years.
Yeah, that's it. It's obviously in the heyday we saw the likes of Paul Drinkall and Co winning the European team championships, but after a process of rebuilding, certainly nice to see those guys reaching the quarters, and obviously Tom and Josh carrying on to play at a very good level. Tom in particular will be leading the England charge at the World Team Championships in the not too distant future, and great to see Josh still playing well at this level, and 8-4 up, and just a good topspin there from Felix into the crossover point. He's not out of this yet, clawing his way back into this game. Good backhand serve there from Josh, and follows it up with a forehand topspin.
I watched Felix in practice this week, Steve, in Sheffield, as he practiced with the England senior squad. He was practicing with Andrew Bagley and Joseph Hunter, you know, and he's really good in the rally, Felix, and he loves playing from that backhand corner, looks to step round, but I think Josh is really doing well here by going down the lines a little bit more, flicking out and fading out to that forehand as he brings up 6 game points.
Yeah, that's it. And the danger is that what you've just said there, Connor, is that he's looked to flick wide for him, but he hasn't found it wide enough. And if it goes to middle forehand, he knows it's not strong enough, and Felix is quickly over. So if he does go to forehand, it needs to be wide forehand, as you've said. That one again has gone away from him, and really impressive, mature performance from Josh at this moment in time. Tactically, looks to have him well and truly worked out.
Josh Bennett racing into a 2-0 lead as we look back at one of the highlights points of this match so far. Nice backhand from Josh. Great rally. Good play from Josh Bennett. Steve, you mentioned there about Tom Jarvis leading the charge for the England men's team at the ITTF World Championships.
Yeah, obviously a player that's improved over the last couple of seasons. Looks to be in great shape, very fit, very fast. And he's progressed up the world rankings, had some very impressive wins of late. I know he beat Darko Jorgic, who's a world-class player that always difficult to beat. Recently in the Bundesliga, and playing in Germany will certainly only add to his match playing skills. And it'll be really interesting to see how he responds to the responsibility of being number one.
Yeah, he has had some really good performances, and losing out to Matthias Carlsen in the semi-final of the WTT feeder in Dusseldorf, holding his own match points, really puts him in great stead as England will face Sweden come May.
Yeah, absolutely. And on paper, Sweden will start as favourites, but England have got the home advantage, and our boys will certainly not be afraid of that challenge. They'll be looking to step up, and I'm sure they're licking the lips at the opportunity. And now, just the start of this game, we see again Josh really impressed with his performance. His shot selection and just not doing too much.
Yeah,
at the right time is really impressive, actually.
Got to say, coming into this one, I thought this might be a little bit of a closer affair between Felix and Josh, but Josh really impressive.
Yeah, I just think he's played such a good match in terms of shot selection, and losing out that one there with a little dead net. But
he's a clever player, isn't he? Lots of control. Everything Josh does. We spoke about his timing earlier on, myself and Richie, but his timing's almost impeccable, and he plays that ball in front of him, and that's why sometimes he does like to push out that little bit more and then look to counter and reloop.
Yeah, you don't see him snatching or getting ahead of himself or too fast for himself. Just there, you see 70-80% quality on the table.
Yeah, that's
waits
nice.
For the right ball.
Into the crossover, just steps round and spins that ball over, giving it a little bit more height, slowed the pace down. Speaks so much about young players, especially younger kids, going faster and faster and faster. But these two players just showing us that placement is just as good as power.
Yeah, absolutely. And 2 now serving 3. Just keeping his nose in front. Getting great shot selection there. That ball popped up a little bit higher, so he's happy to go with more pace and plays the winner. 4-2, and just looks very focused in this match. He wants these points for his team. Electing to go back to the backhand serve now. Will we see it short to the backhand side? Long and fast, surprise element.
That's a fantastic serve.
Yeah.
I think using the backhand serve to Felix Thomas is something he's not used to seeing, because it's almost replicant of a left-hander serve, isn't it? That ball kicking inwards.
Kicking away from you, yeah. And obviously their timeout called, and I think it's the right call. 2 ends down and 5-2 down, and I think it's the right thing to do.
Let's take a look at that huge rally between Josh Bennett and Felix Thomas. Felix Thomas of Brighton in the blue and Josh Bennett in the black and orange of BATTS in this epic, decisive thriller. Josh Bennett leads 2-0. Josh just top edging there. That ball kicked up as he didn't expect it. And 2:30 today, Steve, live on Table 1, Ormsby versus Brighton, top of the league, clash, first versus second, champions versus runners-up. How excited for that one are you?
Yeah, it's going to be a great match, and I'm sure Brighton will want to make a statement and say, well, okay.
Don't let you go undefeated.
Yeah, that's it. You guys have won the war this season, but we're still in this battle, and we're going to try and make a match of it. And obviously make a statement for next season as well. So, these guys will, like I said earlier, still be playing for bragging rights. So, it should still be a great match regardless. And
of course, ranking points on offer for all players involved,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's really important to some of the players. Felix Thomas does a little bit of practice with David Macbeth down at Sheffield. Dave involved with the para squad. Felix studying at Sheffield Hallam University. So, bragging rights also on offer there.
Yeah,
coach versus student.
Yeah, absolutely. And just seeing Felix there, you just can't seem to find a way past Josh's game at this moment in time. Josh's shot selection has been almost impeccable. He's playing the right tactic at the right time and just doing enough to win the point. Felix there with a good positive response, 4-7. Josh still with 1 serve to come, and a very mature performance from Mr. Bennett indeed.
It's a shame we won't get to see David Anderson against Enio Mendes unless Ormsby do change their order around, because Mendes playing at number 3 and David Anderson being locked and having to play at number 1.
Yeah,
it would have been a great battle.
Yeah,
Callum Evans gave Jose Enio Mendes a game at BATTS, going all the way to the 5th set.
As we've discussed, Conor, in this division, really, they can all beat anybody on the day, and anything can happen. So that's what keeps it interesting. And Josh just flicking off there, but he's not disappointed. Still bouncing, still looking positive. He knows that was the right shot to go for.
The lead Josh has held in this third end, Steve, it's almost pivotal that you do get over the line in this one. He's now got a 4-point lead once again at 9-5, and you're in the driving seat.
He's just doing everything right at the right time. he's touching the right balls, he's flicking the right balls, he's going hard at the right time, he's playing safe at the right time. Really very, very good match player indeed.
Nice.
And sets himself up the foreign winner, gives himself 5 match points.
Straightforward in this decider for Josh Bennett.
Very, very mature performance indeed. It's not over yet, but long road to home now for Mr. Thomas. Yeah, and there it is, blocks long, and a really, really strong, mature performance there from Josh, taking the points for his team, and they'll be delighted.
A great performance from BATTS, led 3-0 overall, and then Brighton fought back to equal 3-3 in this fixture. And BATTS came out on top thanks to victory from Josh Bennett. Secures the points. They can't catch Brighton, but 1 for the BATTS memory going into next season. Thank you for joining us on Table 1. Stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe for a huge battle between first and second coming up at 2:30. Big thanks to Steve Bailey for joining me in the commentary box. Steve, how excited are you looking forward to this afternoon's fixture?
Yeah, it's going to be a great match, and it'll be nice to see the guys and some really top quality players on show. And hopefully there'll be some good quality table tennis. And okay, I mean, we were anticipating that maybe it would be an absolute title decider. That's not the case. But like we say, you know, Brighton will still be looking to come out strong, inflict a defeat on the Ormsby team. So I think there should be some really good matches to watch from a spectator's perspective.
So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back at 2:30. Until then, thank you very much for tuning in.